Yo, 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 what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right, so shout out to everyone who is in the building early. It's good to see each and every one of you. If you can hear me okay and everything looks and sounds good on the screen, please give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to shout out everybody who's in the building early. All right. Shout out to Vovo2 Love. What's good with you, Vovo? Shout out to my man Deacon Dave. What's good with it, bro? Good to see you. Shout out to Katsy. What's good with it, Katsy? And shout out to my man DJ Elmo. Shout out to Tedra. What's good with it? And shout out to Katsy for standing on business for 6 months. Make sure y'all show Katsy some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emojis, some ducks in the chat for Katsy for standing on business for 6 months.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Hey, man, what's going on? What's going on, man? What is going on with these nationwide illegal immigration crash outs? They got martial law basically about to pop off in LA. It's going down in Austin, Texas. It's riots all over the United States, man. It's riots all over the United States. We're gonna talk about this. But first, the first thing that we got to talk about, we got to talk about why there's riots. Who's part of the riots is the question. Shout out to my man Deacon Dave. I appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show my man Deacon Dave some love for joining the membership. Definitely appreciate you, bro.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
What's going on with these crash outs? Now, we got to talk about another crash out. I got to talk about another crash out, man. What's up with this right here? Somebody explain who's right in this situation. Who's right? I need everybody to tell me who's right. Who is correct in this situation right here? Simone Biles calls out Riley Gaines in clash over anti-trans, quote unquote, athlete comments. You're truly sick. Interesting. Why? I don't understand this. Shout out to Miss Niecy. What's good with it, Miss Niecy? Make sure y'all show Miss Niecy some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Miss Niecy for standing on business for 8 months. Definitely appreciate it.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Shout out to Katsy. Katsy says, shout out to Tedra. Tedra, I was with Simone Biles until she mentioned that there. I always knew people mad at me. I don't care how many people get mad at me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I do not care. Shout out to Katsy. Katsy says she wants trans people out of women's sports. Let me ask you a question. Is that sick? Shout out to my man James Sumler. What's good with it? I want to ask you guys this question. This whole idea of quote unquote transgender, right? Is there any culture that transgender is hand in hand with? Because if there's not, the way that people present themselves and the way that people present things, you would think that there is. Now, let me ask you guys this. How much protection have people run for Simone Biles? How much protection have people run for Simone Biles? How many defensive Simone Biles videos have you seen with Simone Biles' face on it? Oh, you know what I'm saying? Simone Biles. Simone Biles. Let me ask you guys this question. How many people agree with this stance? Katsy says no. Women, quote unquote, real women are getting hurt. Help me, guys. Help me. Help me. What's up with Simone Biles, man? So I want you guys to pay very close attention to this. Simone Biles is crashing out over this. Maxine Waters is in California crashing out. I need people to give me, run it down the line. What is the similarities between Simone Biles and Maxine Waters? Because you got Simone Biles crashing out over women who stand up to urinate. And, you know, you got Maxine Waters over there in Los Angeles doing whatever it is that Maxine Waters is doing. Shout out to Vovo. Vovo said, if I'm a public figure, I wouldn't speak on hot issues. I say what I got to say. Me personally, I'm going to say, if I'm a public figure, I'm going to say what I got to say. But what you got to understand is that if she's saying what this is what Simone Biles cares about. Accept it. Understand it. This is her. She don't care about y'all. How many videos of people run in defense of Simone Biles? She does not care about you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man, James Sumler. I appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show James Sumler some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji. Get some ducks in the chat for James Sumler for standing on business.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Let me ask you this. Could Simone Biles compete against a male gymnast? If Simone Biles could compete against a male gymnast, give me a thumbs up. If she could not compete against a male gymnast, give me a thumbs down. This is what I'm talking about. Rolling double standards, anti-logic, pro-crime culture. Pro-crime culture. You know what I'm saying? Simone Biles, look at this. Simone Biles is calling out former U.S. swimmer turned right-wing talking head, Riley Gaines. The legendary Olympian went on social media on Saturday to call out Gaines, who has been critical of transgender athletes. Here's the truth about this situation. And again, right? Has Riley Gaines been critical of transgender athletes, or has she been critical of transgender athletes who are competing against women? That's my question. Shout out to Tedra. I appreciate you. Make sure y'all show Tedra some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Tedra. Tedra says, I'm glad you're back to having these conversations. This stuff is just, it's wild, man. It's ridiculous. And it's just wild. We're going to get to it. I appreciate you, Tedra. Make sure y'all show Tedra some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emojis, some ducks in the chat for Tedra for funding the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Yeah, right. Which is Riley Gaines critical of transgender athletes, or is she critical of transgender athletes competing against women? Shout out to Greets. What's good with it, bro? That's the question, right? That's the question. Biles' response came after Riley criticized a girls' softball team in Minnesota for accepting a transgender athlete. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Can a straight male play on a woman's team? Yes or no? Yes or no? Let me know. Can a straight male play? So why should a gender that's not a woman be able to play against women? And like this, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this, man. People got to stop making these people that are not heroes. Stop, man. Simone Biles' brain has gone through a blender. This is what people support. This is what people support. You know what I'm saying? After the team posted a photo on X to celebrate their state championship, Riley called them out for turning off comments on their post. Okay? And who came to rescue? I want to know, when Riley Gaines said this, right? Who came to the rescue? Just like we're going to talk about the rescues going on in LA. The rescues going on all over the place. Who came to the rescue? I want everybody to understand, people made Simone Biles great. Now, mind you, she's a talented athlete, right? We're not taking that away from her, right? But people made her great. Ignored all of the nonsense that she does, all of the nonsense that she says. How can you say that you care about certain political issues and then support someone who says such freaking nonsense? Shout out to AB. Shout out to Jesse. I want you guys to understand the reason why these kind of issues proliferate is because of the people that support these people. Stop supporting these people, man. Stop supporting them. Comments off. To be expected when your star player is a boy, Riley wrote. Now, again, is she wrong? Let me again, is Riley Gaines incorrect? That's the question. Oh, we can't admit it. We can't admit that Riley Gaines is correct. You know what I'm saying? A short time later, Biles posted her own response to Riley. Why? Does Biles stand up to P? Why she post a response to this? Wasn't nobody talking to her. I thought we mind our business. I thought we mind our business. Right? This don't look like business minding to me. Right? But let's see what happened. Telling the swimmer to stop being angry about the fact that she lost a race to a transgender woman in 2022. That's a reason to be angry. I guarantee you Simone Biles would be upset if she lost in the Olympics to a man. Biles said, stop being mad because you got beat by Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps is supposed to be competing against men. How did he get in the pool with Riley? Shout out to James. I agree. If you guys agree with James, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit the bell, share the stream to your social media. All right. So she says, Riley Gaines, you're truly sick. I don't know if Riley Gaines is the one that's truly sick. I think the people that are truly sick are the ones that think that men should compete against women in sports. All of this campaigning because you lost a race. Straight up loser. The gold medalist also tried to encourage Riley to, quote unquote, uplift the trans community and perhaps find a way to make sports inclusive or creating a new avenue where trans can feel safe in sports. They can, if there's a market for trans sports, then they can play in their own league. The same way, if it's a market for women's sports, women can play in their own league. The same way, if it's a market for men's sport, men can play in their own league. I don't understand this, man. Why are we doing this? Shout out to my man, AB Promotions. I definitely appreciate you, bro. Make sure you guys show AB some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for AB Promotions for standing on business for 6 months. Definitely.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Somebody help me, man. Help me make sense of this, please. We'll never make sense of this. You know what I'm saying? And again, here's my question. Why is it listen, separate from the struggle identity. How many people agree the struggle identity needs to be separated from? You got Riley Gaines sitting here telling you to uplift these other communities, and most people are living paycheck to paycheck and can't even pay their own bills. They can't even pay bills. The credit default rate in the United States is at an all-time high. You don't have to uplift other communities. Stop uplifting other communities. It's ridiculous. Listen to this beacon of wisdom, this oracle, sitting here telling you to uplift other communities so that they can overtake the sports that you play in. Listen to how stupid this is. Shout out to James Sumler. James Sumler says, according to libs, it's equivalent to the civil rights movement. Let me shout out to DeAndre. What's good with it, bro? Let me ask you guys this question. Anybody that's got any parents or grandparents who survived and lived through the civil rights movement, do you think that they'd agree? Or do you think that they'd be highly offended? Highly offended. The reason why this is happening, this is people's faults, though. Everyone who supports Simone Biles, this is your fault. This is your fault. You support Simone Biles. You know what I'm saying? Support logic. You know what I'm saying? Don't support Simone Biles. Look at this. Maybe a transgender category in all sports. I don't think anybody's ever against that. But instead, you bully them. No, she doesn't bully them. She's asking the question, why are they competing against women? One thing's for sure, no one in sports is safe with you around. I don't know if Riley Gaines has ever cracked somebody's eye socket, but I can tell you who has. Let me ask you guys this question. Who's cracked somebody's eye socket? Can anybody tell me who's cracked somebody's eye socket? Let me give you a clue. It's the people that, quote unquote, Simone Biles, royalty here, wants to uplift. It's unbelievable. What happened to Riley Gaines at the 2022 NCAA championships? According to BBC, Gaines has become outraged when she finished 5th in the 200-meter freestyle swimming at the 2022 NCAA championships, tying with transgender woman Leah Thomas. Why was this Leah Thomas person? Has anybody? We've all seen Leah Thomas. We've all seen Leah Thomas. What do you guys think about Leah Thomas? That dude playing basketball. Yeah, Khalifa. Shout out to Deacon Dave. Who is Khalifa? Yeah, he broke a girl's eye socket with the volleyball. Nuclear dodgeball. Playing nuclear dodgeball. Like somebody threw a shot put and hit somebody in the eye with it. Ha! Shout out to AV Promotions, right? AV Promotions on the mission. As Gaines and other critics speak out against transgender athletes after the race, which again is not speaking out. It's not speaking out. It's not true. World Aquatics established a new rule a year later. The organization stated that time that transgender women can't compete in women's elite races if they experienced male puberty at any point. I mean, what? Like, I'll never. Who's right in this situation? Listen. All this is Simone Biles. She just wanted to have something to say. She just wanted to have something to say to Riley Gaines. Is all that is. You know what I'm saying? I thought people minded their business. I'm just minding my business. She didn't mind hers. Now let's see something else, right? Let's see something else. This is, and I want people to understand. This is what people are associated with, man. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this ridiculousness right here. Elected Democrat straight up says she's in the country illegally, then scrambles to clarify. Look at this. Oh, look at this. Simone Biles issues an apology to Riley Gaines. Imagine that. That's trending, #1. Of course it is. Oh, I opened my mouth and nothing but nonsense came out. Who raises these people? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cameron Jones. Who raises these people? Why do people do mental gymnastics online to try to make this stuff right because they want to play on a particular team? And then turn around when other people aren't looking and say the same thing that the other people are saying. Why? Why are people so fake? You know what I'm saying? Elected Democrat straight up says she's in the country illegally, then scramble to clarify. Why have people been voting for these clowns, man? How long? Let me ask you guys this question. How long have people supported the Democrats? How long? Somebody let me know in the chat. How long? How long have people been supporting the Democrats? You know what I'm saying? How long? During a debate Monday on Medicaid eligibility, Democratic State Representative Kaohly Vang, her of Minnesota, said her parents committed immigration fraud to enter the United States and then claimed she was a U.S. citizen. I mean, again, pro-crime culture. Have you ever seen the Democrats crash out for anybody else committing crimes like this? Shout out to DeAndre. DeAndre says, black folks blindly been supporting the Democrats for 60 years. Here's my question. Is it actually blindly? Is it actually blindly? If you guys would say that it is actually blindly, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would not say that it's blindly, give me a thumbs down. Let me know what you think. Well, look at this. Look at this. Pro-crime, right? Pro-crime. This is a crime. And she's proud of it. I proudly committed fraud. My family are all fraudsters. Shout out to Roots Trackers. What's good with it? My family are fraudsters. My whole existence is a fraud. And I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Let me shake my ass around. Like, are you serious? The Minnesota House of Representatives on Monday passed legislation to declare illegal immigrants ineligible for Minnesota care. I mean, this is common sense. This is common sense. This is the only avenue of criminality that you get rewarded for. You know what I'm saying? It's the only avenue of criminality that you get rewarded for. I don't know why does it keeps talking weird on this article. It says her made the comments. Her made the comments on the floor of the state house. She then rushed to a local media outlet to clarify her comments. I am illegal in this country. My parents are illegal in this country. Her said on the floor. Why is it saying it like this? As all but one Democrat in the Minnesota House of Representatives voted against the legislation, they want illegal immigrants to get Medicare. They don't.
Okay, so real talk here. So when the stuff hits the fan, or when your kid gets hurt, you want to be prepared.
They don't care
Donald
about.
Trump is about to cement his status as the greatest president in history. When he releases the United States,
because his mother had died.
And let me be clear. When I say they don't care about us, I'm talking about American citizens. Period. Let me just make that clear. Let me just make that clear. I'm talking about American representatives not caring about American people. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that I made that very clear. Now listen to this idiot. Who voted this fool into office right here?
Because his mother had died. My father, as the one processing the paperwork, put my grandmother down as his mother. And so I am illegal in this country. My parents are illegal here in this country.
I mean, are you serious? Look at this. Look at this. Now, we're about to talk about these crash outs, but they got a little thing about the crash outs.
His mother.
They got a little thing about the crash outs. Because that's all these are, is crash outs. Trump said that it was an insurrection. Trump said that it was an insurrection going on in Los Angeles. Why does he keep saying it like this? Her later did an interview with the Minnesota Reformer where she claimed she and her parents were American citizens. Okay. Technically, you would say my father broke the law, right? But we would have come anyway. Her told to the Reformer. Why is it saying this like this? Why are these people illegally trying to get to the United States? Why are they just illegally coming here? Could you imagine saying, you know, shout out to Leonard, what's good with it, bro? Could you imagine saying, you know, I like your house. I don't own it right now, but I, you know, eventually I'm gonna just break in that bad boy and be living right in there. I mean, could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? Look, technically you would say my father broke the law, right? But we would have come anyway. Her said to the reformer. And again, I don't know why it's talking like that. Then now here goes again. Her told the reformer that her father claimed to be related to a family friend who worked for the United States Agency of International Development in order to hasten the family's entry to the United States to avoid reprisals from communists. She claimed she told the story to try to make Republicans feel empathy for immigrants. No one's going to feel empathy for criminals, man. They're breaking the damn law. Listen, regardless of how people want to say this, I don't understand why there needs to be any empathy for any of these people. Can anybody explain to me why I need to understand what? I need to empathize with what? Empathize with the fact that you're breaking the law? I don't understand. The truth is, until people see a face with somebody in a situation, it is really easy for us to other each other. What the Daily Wire or the Daily Caller, whatever this is, they really need to get an actual editor. Like, you can't just copy and paste Chat GPT. It still needs to be edited. You know what I'm saying? The truth is, until people see a face with somebody in a situation, it is really easy for us to other each other. And as someone who's been marginalized, look at it, I've been marginalized because of who I am my whole life. I never want to do that to somebody else. Her told the reformer. She's been marginalized. Everybody's been marginalized. Oh, we've been marginalized. Why are you coming to the United States then, where you make up a marginal population? If you lived in the country where you're from, you wouldn't be a margin. Mathematically, right? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Roots Trackers. Roots Trackers said, I was told I need to have empathy and not remain neutral because it could happen to me. You should have told that person to stick their head in a lawnmower. Try that. I'll have empathy after I watch you stick your head in a lawnmower. You know what I'm saying? People don't tell me anything dumb. You know what I'm saying? That's what you should have said. You should have told him that. You should have told him exactly that. I'm about to crush up this glass bottle, and I want you to sniff it up like it's some cocaine. Do that. You want to tell me something dumb, I'm going to tell you something dumb. That's what you should have told him. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the reconciliation bill moving through Congress includes reforms to Medicaid, which helps provide health coverage for low-income people in the United States. Low-income people in the United States. Legally, right? No, it doesn't say that. It just says low-income people in the United States, including an effort to end the use of the program by illegal immigrants. They have no business using this anyway. Let me ask you guys this question. Do illegal immigrants have any business using American taxpayer-funded programs? If they do, give me a thumbs up. If they do not, then give me a thumbs down. Now, listen, I want people to understand. Do you all realize that these ICE crash outs are not just happening in LA? You guys realize that, right? You guys realize that, right? They're going on all over the United States. It's protests all over the United States. Look at this. All over the United States. Protesters decrying ICE arrests, taken into custody in Lower Manhattan. It's going down all over the place. They got they got ICE, they got the National Guard, and they got the Marines. All over the place, man. All over the place. And people crashing out. And you got Maxine Waters sitting there looking stupid. Looking stupid. A grand mall embarrassment. You know what I'm saying? Multiple demonstrators were taken into custody Saturday afternoon during a protest against Immigration and Customs Enforcement in Lower Manhattan in response to an ongoing migrant arrest this week. How come nobody is rioting like this for unemployment and inflation? Let's stop. Wait a minute. How come nobody is rioting like this about unemployment and inflation and increasing housing costs? Are these people stupid? Yes is the answer. You know what I'm saying? Yes is the answer. Cops responded outside immigration court around noon at 26 Federal Plaza, where protesters were sitting in the middle of the street blocking traffic. And again, you're just doing dumb stuff. Why are you blocking traffic? But then if somebody hit these people, you know who will come out. The right-wing protesters hit this person. You know what I'm saying? And oh, man, depending on who the protester is, it's going to get shot to outer space, man. It's going to go all over the place. Yeah, fact. Shout out to Leonard. They voted for this. Shout out to Tedra. Tedra said, did you see the video where ICE went into a restroom to detain one of them? Hey, you know what I'm saying? That's law enforcement, man. They go after the criminals and catch them. That's what they do. They do that to anybody, right? They do that to anybody. But it's only a problem if they do it to people that don't pay taxes here, man. Please, I ain't trying to hear it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to hear it, man. Officers ordered protesters to clear the roadway. They should have got the street sweepers out. You know what I'm saying? They should have got the choppers out. Should have started drilling on people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Numerous protesters were taken into custody when they didn't comply and were issued summons, cops said. Demonstrators were, look at this, they call it ICE KKK, man. They call it ICE KKK, man. Listen. Listen. They call it ICE KKK. Shout out to Left Field. Left Field said, what's crazy is they don't protest in their home countries. I don't know what they do in their home countries. I can't say that I know what people do in their home countries. I just know what they do over here. And what they do over here is they pull down their pants and show their complete ass. You know what I'm saying? They show the complete ass. Why? Now, I want to understand this. Why is these people that can barely speak English uttering out of their rotten teeth mouth, no KKK? You never dealt with the KKK. And if you had came here back in the day, you wouldn't have dealt with the KKK. If your hair was straight, what are these people talking about? What are you talking about? No KKK. And the pathetic, beat down, old, flabby, sorry, old Democrats who actually dealt with the KKK is buying this and selling y'all out. No KKK essay. Are you for real? All these people that say no KKK, they're allowed to get into all type of other organizations with these people who are part of the KKK. These very same people who say no KKK, no ICE, will go right to prison and join the Aryan Brotherhood. Are you serious? And you got Maxine Waters supporting this shit? These motherfuckers will go join a motorcycle gang that won't let a black person in there. And they sitting up there talking no KKK? Shout out to my man Carlton. What's good with it, bro? You sitting up there saying no KKK and then go and join the Aryan Brotherhood or link up with them in a prison. And listen, they doing what they do for survival, right? Whatever. I don't even blame them for that because they come from that. They come from these kind of cultures. They come from South America, where South America was one of the places that still allowed slavery after the Civil War, and they invited them people down there. They come from this shit. You know what I'm saying? What's up with the black politicians facilitating this bullshit? Maxine Waters, Jim Clyburn. You know what I'm saying? Those people need to be in dementia units at nursing homes. You know what I'm saying? These protesters should never be uttering no KKK. You never dealt with the KKK. Let me ask you guys now, and you know what's funny about this? Do you notice how the Karens, the United Karens of America, they never said how many immigrants did the KKK kill? They never say that. You ever notice that? You ever notice that? They'll sit there and tell you nobody alive today ever owned a slave. No immigrant ever got lynched by the KKK. Somebody bring me the name of an immigrant that got lynched or killed by the KKK. Where's the rest of America? Where's the rest of weak, Karenized America? This punk-ass motherfuckers that live in this country. Where they at with their historical facts? How come Donald Trump don't get on TV and say, name me an immigrant or name me an immigrant group that the KKK targeted? Look, I want you guys to understand. Do you see this? Do you see this? This is why people need to separate from the struggle identity. These people are selling you out for millions of dollars. Selling you out for millions of dollars. Anti-wealth, anti-intelligent, rolling double standards. And let me tell you something. It's a lot of these YouTubers, a lot of people out here, they are Democrats in disguise. You ain't never noticed why some of these people say the same thing as some of these Democrats and then they turn around and say, I don't like this person. I don't like this person. We saying the same shit. We saying the same shit. How many videos y'all see about Lord Jamar going back on Vlad? He ain't the only one went back on Vlad. What? You know what I'm saying? What? That's the reason why this kind of stuff keeps happening. So people should not ask any questions. Do not ask. Do not act confused. Do not act like you don't understand. Understand. Look in the mirror. In the mirror is the reason why the same shit keeps happening all the time. That's why. From Simone Biles to this nonsense. You got people that never dealt with the KKK. Never dealt with the KKK. No ICE, no KKK. What are you talking about? You join the KKK if you could. The proof is out there. You join KKK adjacent groups every opportunity. What are you talking about? What are they talking about? What in the hell do KKK got to do with ICE? Like, somebody explain to me. Around 17 people were taken into custody, according to ABC. Now, here's the better question, right? Let me ask you this. The black conservatives, right? Gotta hit up the black conservatives. Gotta hit up the black conservatives, man. Gotta hit up the black conservatives. Why the black conservatives not saying, What immigrant did the KKK kill? What immigrant house did the KKK throw a burning cross in front of? You know, they usually had them type of facts. People like Officer Tatum and people like, you know, George Foreman or Greg Foreman, whatever that dude's name is, and all them. Where's the coons at with the coon facts? Where's the pussies at with the drip? Where they at? You know what I'm saying? They got nothing. They got nothing. You know what I'm saying? Candace, let me make another Diddy video. You know what I'm saying? Let me make another Diddy video. What's the difference, man? Why do black conservatives keep making Diddy videos the same way ratchet content creators keep making Diddy videos? Why do race hustling black conservatives, when they make a video and it's in regard to anybody other than black people, they never mention the race? Why is that? Why is that? Anybody got any answers for me? Why is that? Shout out to AB Promotions. AB Promotions says someone called Jamar. Hey. A lot of people should get calls, but everybody gonna act like they don't see certain calls. You know what I'm saying? And again, if you act like that towards one situation, you're gonna act like that towards all situations, which is the reason why stuff be the way that it is. You know what I'm saying? They not like us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The protest came after federal agents have been rounding up migrants all week at the immigration courthouse. Hey, come here. You got a court date today. Come here. If you come to court, everything will be all right. You know what I'm saying? You get to court, ICE slapped them cuffs on you. Goodbye. ICE agents also arrested migrants after they checked in at an intensive supervision appearance program hearing on Elk Street Wednesday afternoon, according to New York Legal Association or New York Legal Assistance Group. It's essentially a trap. I mean, listen, that's what they do, is trap people, right? That's what they do, is trap people. That's what's supposed to happen. It's like selling to no one calls it trapping when you sell to an undercover. Yo, listen, man, I got some rock. I got some rocks for you. You know what I'm saying? I'll forget a rock. You know what I'm saying? I need a brick. Okay, bet. I'm gonna get the brick. I'm gonna sell you this brick. Oh, by the way, I'm with the DEA. No one cares. You know what I'm saying? No one cares. Hey, that's what happened to the immigrants now. Hey, come here. You'll be able to stay a little bit longer if you just come over here. Psych. You know what I'm saying? We're going back tomorrow. You know, that's just what it is. Shout out to Left Field. Left Field said most of these ICE agents, law enforcement in LA are Latino. It's kind of like the illegals are protesting themselves, not the Klan. I wouldn't go as far as to say that. I wouldn't go. Listen, that, no offense, Left Field. No offense. I'm glad. Shout out to you for being here. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate you. Shout out to you for engaging the chat. Please don't feel attacked, because I don't attack people. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want you to feel attacked. I'm just saying this. I hear you, right? I slightly disagree with that logic. And the reason why I disagree with that logic is because despite popular belief, right, Latino is not synonymous with illegal. It's not synonymous with illegal. Making a comment like that is the same as somebody saying, well, I don't understand why there's black correction officers, because ain't nothing but black people in jail. Black and being in jail are not synonymous, despite the fact that a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, want to make that synonymous for nefarious reasons, right? Including people that believe that degeneracy is a cultural pinnacle, right? I don't agree with that logic because I don't know the status of a lot of these ICE agents. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't say that just because somebody is a Latino that they're automatically illegal. So I wouldn't say that it's like they're not really protesting themselves. I wouldn't say that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Miss Nisi. Miss Nisi said permission to post a phone number in the chat. What you about to post? ICE number? You about to post ICE number? Go ahead. That's hilarious, man. It's essentially a trap. Allison Cutler supervising attorney from New York Legal Assistance Group's Immigrant Protection Unit, told the Daily News Wednesday. Most of the folks who are already on ISAP tend to already have final orders for removal. So ICE would essentially consider it an easy target. So they are already checking in. They are already having appointments. Most of them have ankle monitors, so they are monitoring their GPS locations. On Tuesday, around 16 people were detained at the Elk Street Immigration Check-in office, according to the city. Now, you guys remember, it was at one point where New York was taking them in, right? At one point, New York was taking them in, right? Now New York kicking them out. Mayor Eric Adams like, hey, son, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to go home, but you got to get out of here. You got to get out of here. And if you don't get out of here, I'm charging you a fee in Bitcoin, son. You know what I'm saying? I'm charging you the fee in Bitcoin, son. You know what I'm saying? On Friday morning, 2 people were pinned to the ground and arrested by ICE agents who were waiting in the hallways outside of federal immigration courtrooms. Since when do getting pinned on the hallway make the highlight reel? You know what I'm saying? Since when do that make the highlight reel? Shout out to everybody watching, man. I appreciate y'all. If y'all haven't hit the like button yet, do me a favor. Take a moment. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Share the stream. Oh, man, this is wild, man. Look, Dominican Republic migrant Joaquin Rosario Espinal left the courtroom after routine check-in around 12:35 p.m. after getting his case dismissed when at least 6 federal agents outside swarmed him. You know what I'm saying? They swarmed him. Come here. You got to come with us. Get in the back of this van. 2 agents grabbed Rosario Espinal by his shirt collar, with one tumbling to the ground along with him. Stop fighting, stop resisting, an agent yelled at him. And that's the thing that you got to deal with. If you know what I'm saying, when law enforcement come at you, you got to deal with them tripping and falling all over the place and then telling you to stop fighting. You know what I'm saying? I tripped and fell on top of you. Stop fighting me. Like, what you talking about, bro? Like, you don't want to grab me up. You the one grab me up, man. What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Multiple agents then turned Rosario Espinal around, pushing him to the ground before handcuffing him. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, this is going on all over the place. The crackdown is dubbed Operations at Large. You know what I'm saying? Another woman was arrested. Look, this lady right here, she was arrested after allegedly assaulting an officer, too. She probably pulled his hair. You know what I'm saying? Our officers are doing their jobs by removing public safety threats and enforcing our nation's immigration laws, McLaughlin said. Assaulting, resisting, impeding, or harassing ICE officers is against the law. How many people have seen these videos in these situations where these Democratic lawmakers are attacking ICE agents? Have you guys seen any of those videos? If you guys have seen those, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't seen those, give me a thumbs down. Have you guys seen those videos? I've seen some videos like that. You know what I'm saying? You got these you got these people, you know what I'm saying? You got these congresswomen attacking ICE agents. You know what I'm saying? And now the ICE agents, you know, they ain't snatch them up or anything like that. But I want you guys to pay very close attention, like, understand. And again, let me ask you guys this question. Have you ever seen the Democrats crash out like that? You know what I'm saying? For any issue that you hold near and dear. I mean, they willing to go hard in the paint. Let me see. Hold on. I think. See this. Oh, okay. Good. Good. I want y'all to look at this. Look at what's going on in Texas. Now, they going to mess around. Texas ain't really the state to be messing around in. You know what I'm saying? Texas is not. Let me ask y'all this. Shout out to my man DSB. What's good with you, bro? Is Texas really the state to be messing around in. If Texas is the state to mess around in, give me a thumbs up. If Texas is not the state to mess around in, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to DSB, man. I appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show DSB some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for my man DSB for funding the organization and standing on business. Definitely appreciate you, bro.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Definitely appreciate you, bro. Yo, wait a minute. What the hell? Okay, there we go. Look at this. Anti-ICE protest in Austin ends with a dozen arrests amid tear gas and pepper spray use. So they done pepper sprayed these fools. Was it worth it? hey, was it worth it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I tell you these people are crashing out, man, they crashing out. They crashing out, man. Waving signs and chanting slogans. Hundreds of people took to the streets. Why? Of downtown. This is the most pointless. Let me ask y'all this. Is this the most pointless struggle that you've ever seen? Shout out to DSB. I appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show DSB some love for gifting the 5 memberships. I definitely appreciate it, bro. Make sure y'all show him some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emojis, some ducks in the chat for DSB for funding the organization and for standing on business. Definitely appreciate you, bro.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Shout out to Deacon Dave. Deacon Dave said pepper spray. I call it seasoning sauce. Right, I agree, bro. But I guarantee you, it might taste. This gonna sound wild. It might taste good in your mouth, but I guarantee you, it is all bad in your eyes. It might taste. You know what I'm saying? It might taste good on a taco. You know what I'm saying? But it probably don't. It don't feel good on your. You know what I'm saying? On your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cameron. What's good with you, bro? Shout out to Cameron. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, this is crazy. This is ridiculous right here. Why? And again, I don't understand this. Why? Somebody explain to me. I've never seen criminals get cheered on like this unless you're watching a movie. Have you guys? I've never seen like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna leave the door. Break into my house. Like, who does that? Shout out to left field, right? Pause. Right. Pause on that one. You know what I'm saying? It go better in your mouth and bad in your eyes. Yeah, pause. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Oh man, that's hilarious. So yeah, man, they waving the signs and doing all that extra stuff, waving the signs, chanting slogans. Hundreds of people took to the street. They don't care about their future at all. They headed to the streets of downtown Austin on Monday evening. Look at this, to show solidarity with protesters in Los Angeles who have faced heavy blowback for demonstrating against federal immigration raids. We need to start protesting against people raiding the trap houses. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it's dumb. It's the equal level of stupidity. You know what I'm saying? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down, right? While the Austin protest was largely peaceful, it ended with a dozen arrests and a standoff between demonstrators and state and local police who deployed tear gas and pepper ball projectiles against a smaller group of protesters after they graffitied a federal building and threw rocks at officers. Does that sound peaceful? Shout out to James. James said, I got to record the sinister laugh. That's hilarious. Do that sound peaceful? That don't sound peaceful to me. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know who y'all trying to fool. It don't sound peaceful. You know what I'm saying? Now, is this woman's name Labia? Interesting. Labia Khan, an organizer with the Austin chapter of the Party for Socialism and Liberation, said the group organized the protest specifically because of the Trump administration's response to the LA demonstrations. We saw that Trump brought in the National Guard. We want to get hit up by the National Guard. Let's do what they're doing. Who uses logic like that? Somebody named Labia. Somebody named Labia would be the person that would do something like this. So I guess we, you know what I'm saying, we answered our own question. As of Monday night, the president had deployed 4,000 National Guard troops and 700 Marines to LA, escalating the response and defying the state government's call to stand down. I don't know. Does this look peaceful? That looks like a war zone. This look like something that's not even in the United States. You know what I'm saying? This look like what? Look, that looks like, right? That looks like what a lot of people say that they left. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to leave this environment right here to come to the United States. Now look at this. See, this is what they do right here. Now I knew I shouldn't have pressed nothing. Now they charging me for the article. You know what I'm saying? Now they charging me for the article. Let's see. Hold on. All right, there we go. Now, yeah, we back. Okay. Yeah, see, they trying to, we got to, look. Do this look peaceful? All kind of gas? Did that look peaceful? Why is he dressed like that? You at the wrong, the Hamas thing is somewhere else. You at the wrong rally. This is the immigration one. You know what I'm saying? These people be all dressed up. They be dressed up with the whole Democrat. You know what I'm saying? They be dressed up with the whole Democrat civil disobedience package. Like, bro, you had the wrong one. Look at this. Do that look like peace? They got too many pictures of this. Do that look peaceful? That definitely don't look peaceful. That looks like a third world country. Look at that. This looks like the purge. That looks like the purge. Does that look peaceful? That's what they got arrested for, writing on that building. Look at that right there. I want you guys to understand. Are you guys looking at this? I want you guys to see this. These are Blacks Not Allowed protests. These protests look like the idea of how they want the United States. These protests look like an ethno state. I see maybe like one or two black people. I thought that was what was supposed to make everybody so happy. It's only one or two black people in the situation. And they still out here fighting and throwing tear gas and everything else. So this is just proof that you can't make none of these people happy. You know what I'm saying? You want all the black people gone, y'all still sitting there arguing like subhuman ruffians. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You're arguing like subhuman ruffians. So that's just proof that none of these people want what they want. You know what I'm saying? They don't believe. We don't believe you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo said, didn't the Latinos and Hispanics vote overwhelmingly for Trump, despite him saying that what he was going to do to their group? Yeah. But I mean, here's the thing though, right? I want people to understand this, right? This is gonna sound bad, right? This is gonna sound bad. It's gonna sound bad, but it is what it is. It always sounds bad. You know, I ain't afraid to say stuff to. As far as people saying, you know, didn't they vote? Didn't the Latinos vote for Trump? Look at what he's doing to their people. Didn't the Latinos vote for Trump? Look at what he's doing for their people. At least they didn't do it for 60 years, right? I know someone who did. You know what I'm saying? I know someone who did. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we'll see. Maybe they'll learn. You know what I'm saying? And if they listen, now if they learn from this after the first year, can't nobody say nothing because you know what I'm saying? Somebody messed around and voted for the Democrats for 60 years. Right? You know what I'm saying? Y'all voted for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, y'all voted for that. And you know what I'm saying? Like, other people voted for stuff too that's going on right there. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's that. You know what I'm saying? You got the Simone Biles population, right?
Administration's crackdown on illegal immigration. In Los Angeles today, activists clashing with law enforcement south of downtown Los Angeles in opposition to a possible ICE operation being conducted there. Overnight, as ICE authorities carried out other operations in the city's Chinatown area, protesters crowded the street to prevent immigration agents from leaving.
Now, again, I want you guys, again, who does this, right? Why are people doing this is my question. Why do these people support criminality so much? Why? Shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please do me a favor. Take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media. Shout out to Carlson. Bro, I got this defect. I got this birth defect called I can't not keep it real. Hey, I got this birth defect called I can't not keep it real. You know what I'm saying?
After multiple people were detained, agents in riot gear using tear gas to get the crowd to disperse. LA Mayor Karen Bass saying that neither she nor the LAPD had any idea the raids were going to happen. This immigration crack.
Karen Bass never knows anything that's going to happen. Does anybody recognize that? Anybody notice that there's this pattern of anytime anything goes on, Karen Bass has no idea what's going on? What do you guys think about that? Look at this. Let me ask you this: if you went outside and you saw all this outside in your yard, in your front yard, or in your neighborhood, what would you think about it? How would you feel about it? Would you be trying to get out of there? Let me know.
Crackdown happening as a Salvadorian man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who was mistakenly deported from the U.S. to a prison in that country, is now back on American soil.
How'd they get him? Why? Ain't this dude an MS-13 member? Somebody clarify this for me, please, in the comment section. Is that man a MS-13 member? That individual there? Somebody let me know.
Crackdown happening as a Salvadorian man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who was mistakenly deported from the U.S. to a prison in that country, is now back on American soil. Abrego Garcia appearing in a federal courtroom in Tennessee to face criminal charges. The Justice Department accusing him of transporting undocumented migrants within the U.S. According to the unsealed indictment, some of those.
Why did taxpayer? I need you guys to help me here. Why did taxpayer dollars bring this dude back to the United States? Yeah, that's what I thought. Shout out to Greece. Greece said because he is also being charged with human trafficking, and yes, he is MS-13. Why did they bring him back? I thought the MS-13 had got designated as a transnational gang. And they said, you know what? We feel that the United States is safer with him here. And he's gonna go to prison, right? He's gonna go to a United States prison and do what? He's gonna go to the United States prison, say that he invented hip hop, and join the Aryan Brotherhood. He's gonna go to prison and say that he invented hip hop and then join the Aryan Brotherhood. Somebody make it make sense.
The Justice Department accusing him of transporting undocumented migrants within the U.S. According to the unsealed indictment, some of those who were allegedly transported were members of the violent MS-13 gang. ABC News.
And then we're going to see classic rap shorts, you know what I'm saying? And Fat Joe's going to be like, yeah. So you remember when Trump deported that Salvadorian? He was up here in the Bronx with me when we was making hip hop, son. He was up there in the Bronx with me when we was making hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because you know Fat Joe just know everything. Shout out to Alpha Male Film Network. What's good with it, bro? Oh, man, it's ridiculous out here, man.
Senior reporter Catherine Falders joins me live now for more. Catherine, these protests not just limited to Los Angeles. We've seen them in the last week or so here in New York, Massachusetts.
Nationwide crash outs. Nationwide crash out. They doing nationwide crash outs out here, man. They doing nationwide crash outs.
Minnesota, all in response to this immigration crackdown from the administration. How are these cities and states, especially ones that have sanctuary status, dealing with these operations?
And as you know, these have been happening across the country, but especially in LA and with those cities that have sanctuary status. You saw the LA mayor, Karen Bass, come out and call these protests and these raids cruel and chaotic in the city. You see that.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. Karen Bass, how many people plan on voting for Karen Bass, or how many people plan on supporting Karen Bass? If you plan on voting for her or supporting her, give me a thumbs up. If you're not, then give me a thumbs down. Now, about to ask you this question. How many people remember Nuri? What was her name? Nuri Martinez, if I'm not mistaken. That's Karen Bass's homegirl, right? That's a highly racist Democrat. You guys remember? If you guys remember her, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. She's the one that got caught on tape saying, "Oh, he's with the blacks." Oh. You know what I'm saying? He's with the blacks. You know what I'm saying? Like they about to go sit down and watch a Tubi movie or something. Yeah, shout out to Carlton. He's with the blacks. You know what I'm saying? It's like Busy Bone on that movie Jacked Up. Now, I want you to understand, look, and people stop voting for the chia pet. You know what I'm saying? Because Karen Bass looks like a chia pet. Look at what she's willing to do. She's willing to throw herself all the way out there. She's willing to crash all the way out. Her and Maxine Waters, they're on the verge of getting arrested. They don't care. They're not going to get arrested for you, though. You're not worth it.
Those visuals there of those law enforcement.
Let me ask you guys this question. When is the last time anybody called Karen Bass or Maxine Waters self-hating? When people use the word self-hating is reserved for a particular type of trolling. Yeah. Self-hating is used for a particular type of trolling. You know what I'm saying? I want to know why nobody has called Karen Bass and Maxine Waters self-hating. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said Karen is a dolled up version of Lori Lightfoot. I don't know about all that. I would say she a light version of Lori Lightfoot. I would drop the dolled up part. Shout out to AB. AB said Karen needs to shave her head and become a monk. She look like a dandelion before you blow all the seeds off of it. You know what I'm saying?
Enforcement officers deploying tear gas to try and disperse the crowd. It led to law enforcement officials and local officials in California, including the governor, but specifically Mayor Karen Bass, getting in a little bit of a spat with federal officials. FBI Director Kash Patel essentially saying what she was saying wasn't true. Now, this comes as a Department of Homeland Security has.
Now, look, I want y'all to understand this, man. Karen Bass willing to crash out. She is willing to crash out. Pay attention to who she willing to crash out for. Let me ask y'all this question. She willing to crash out for you? She willing to crash out for you?
Called for an end to the violence against ICE. They claim, the Department of Homeland Security claims, that ICE officers are facing a 413% increase in assaults when carrying out these arrests. So you will continue likely to see that back and forth, of course, between the local officials on the ground and federal authorities.
Let's talk about Kilmar Brego Garcia for a moment. His return to the U.S. We are now learning of the abrupt departure of a top federal prosecutor in Tennessee over this case. So what's the latest there, and how does this play into what lawyers for Brego Garcia are saying about the charges?
Yeah, so the timing of this, Phil, is all very interesting. So, of course, Abrego Garcia was brought back yesterday to the United States, but he was indicted last month on May 21st. So in terms of that abrupt resignation of that top federal prosecutor in Tennessee,
now let me ask you guys this question. How many people feel like they handled this situation with this individual properly? You guys feel like they handled this situation with this individual properly? If you guys feel like they handled this situation properly, give me a thumbs up. If you do not feel like they handled this situation properly, then give me a thumbs down. Let me know what you guys think.
Sources that he resigned just shortly after that indictment, and it was because of federal investigators' decision to bring that.
And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all have not smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor, take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys have not hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media.
Indictment. According to sources who have spoken to, they say that this top federal prosecutor by the name of Ben Schrader, he was the head of the criminal division in this U.S. Attorney's office, that he believed that the Department of Justice was bringing these charges for political reasons, and he decided to resign because of that. So it'll be interesting to see if any of that comes up in federal court as these proceedings play out. Remember, this investigation didn't start until after Kilmar Abrego Garcia was deported from Maryland to El Salvador. So they're using this as a mechanism to get him back, but for an entirely different reason than what we've been talking about the past few months, where that Maryland judge had been asking to get him back. And of course, the Supreme Court said to the government, you need to return him. Well, now they are, but they indicted him to return him.
All right, we'll continue watching it. Catherine Falders. Catherine, thank you. The Trump administration.
All right, so there's that. All right. So next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at this. Now, let me ask you guys this: how many people have seen? They're comparing these LA riots to the Rodney King. You know what I'm saying? When that went down. Now, here goes my question: how many people would say that these situations are similar? If you would say that these situations are similar, give me a thumbs up. If you would not say that these situations are similar, then give me a thumbs down. I don't see any similarity with any of these situations. But it's being compared though. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to dive into this and take a look at this. Right. Shout out to Cameron. Cameron said not even close. Right. If y'all agree with Cameron, throw some flames in the chat. Yeah, it's not even close. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Buck up, Fox News alert. The Trump administration sending additional forces to restore order.
Look at this. I mean, look at this. This is the exact same environment that these people, like, when you look at a third world country, this is the exact same environment that they claim that they live in. But they're leaving the third world environment to come to the United States and create this environment. Like, does that make sense? Shout out to AV Promotions. Somebody help us out. AV Promotions. AV Promotions said, what's the name of that movie Jim Carrey was running around there saying, indicted, indicted, indicted. Oh man, yeah, shout out to Carlton. It don't make any sense, man. This does not make any sense. It makes no sense.
Order to Los Angeles as anti-ICE riots enter into the 5th day.
So let's get right to Jonathan Hunt. He's live on the ground in LA. Hey, Jonathan.
Ainsley Lawrence Brown, good morning to all of you. I have to say that 24 hours ago, we joined you from this precise location outside the Metropolitan Detention Center. Very different scene then that it is now. There is a much more relaxed security posture here today. You can see a handful of National Guard outside the detention center behind me. But yesterday at this time, the entire street was blocked off. A phalanx of National Guard troops were right across this street.
Shout out to if y'all agree with Carlton, these are strange protests. Throw a question mark in the eyeballs in the chat. Throw a question mark in the eyeballs in the chat. Yeah, these are strange bro. We living in strange times.
It is certainly a different atmosphere in LA this morning, and that might be a sign that authorities believe they are getting a grip on these protests. Of course, that is not to say there was not violence yesterday. Thousands of protesters were once again on the streets of downtown LA, but the LAPD operation, along with the Sheriff's Department and the California Highway Patrol, seemed a lot more efficient yesterday. They
What is this dude doing? Hey, what is this doing? What is he doing?
But the LAPD...
Why are you beating that stick like that?
Operation, along with the Sheriff's Department...
Man, he beating the brakes off that piece of wood, man. What that wood do to you, bro? Hey, he beating the brakes off of that wood. What happened? Did the skateboard break or something?
Thousands of protesters were once again on the streets of downtown LA, but the LAPD operation, along with the Sheriff's Department and the California Highway Patrol, seemed a lot more efficient yesterday. They broke the protesters into various groups. They continually pushed them back using tear gas rounds, using flashbangs, using, in some cases, rubber bullets. In the meantime, as you mentioned, President Trump has ordered Marines now to come to LA. We understand that 700.
So now let me ask y'all this: how many people support the decision to send the Marines to LA? If you guys support, you know what I'm saying, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said he's breaking the concrete into pieces so he can throw at people. Man, he doing too much. He doing too much. He should have just came. He should have just came there with some rocks then or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You sitting up there trying to break some concrete up, bro. Everybody can see you. Everybody sees what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You about to mess around and get arrested, which you should.
100 Marines left their base at 29 Palms. That is out towards the Palm Springs area, east of LA yesterday. We believe that they staged overnight at Naval Station Seal Beach, and that they should be deployed on the streets of LA at some point later today. California Governor Gavin Newsom said of that deployment, quote, "The Secretary of Defense is illegally deploying them onto American streets so Trump can have a talking point at his parade this weekend. It's a blatant abuse of power. We will sue to stop this." Nonetheless, President Trump and others will say that their deployment of the National Guard on Sunday clearly made a difference, that those Sunday clashes were...
Let me ask y'all this, man. How many of these people, let's just keep it a buck, man. Like, how many of these people do you all think actually believe in the stuff, you know what I'm saying, that they're protesting for and about in any of these situations, in any of these protests? Like, if I'm like think about it. You're coming to the United States because it's allegedly so bad in your country. But then when you get to the United States, you're protesting about the conditions here in the United States. Like, what? Does that make any sense? I think that this is just entertainment. Like, all this is just like exhaustion. This is just people releasing exhaust. I don't believe that anybody actually has an issue with anything that they claim that they do. This is all performative. If you guys think that this is performative, throw a clown face in the chat.
Much more violent than they were on Monday, and they will argue that is because, in part, they are surging forces here. In the meantime, the search to round up some of those involved in the violence goes on. Elpidio Reyna was a 40-year-old man who was seen throwing rocks and bricks at law enforcement officers. Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, announced on Hannity last night that they have formally identified him. Here's the Attorney General.
That guy has just been identified, and they are doing a search warrant on his house as we speak. So you can run, you can't hide. We are coming after you federally. If you assault a police officer, if you rob a store, if you loot, if you spit on a police officer, we're coming after you.
Now, as we understand it, Reyna is still a fugitive at this point. He is a wanted man, $50,000 being offered as a reward for information that leads to his arrest. But clearly, a couple of messages from the administration. One, as Pam Bondi was just saying, the Attorney General, they will find anybody involved in violent incidents over the last 4 days here in LA. And two, the bigger message is that whatever force that the Trump administration deems necessary to restore order here in LA will be used. Lawrence Bryan, Ainsley.
So, Jonathan,
let me ask y'all this question. What do you all think are the chances that, like, there could just be an actual military strike ordered on Los Angeles? Do you guys think that that's a possibility that could occur? That Trump will be like, you know what, if y'all don't get this together, we just about to bomb LA. Like, forget it. He's about to bomb the whole city. You know what I'm saying? We about to have an airplane. We about to have an Air Force fly over through there. You know what I'm saying? Light it up a couple of times and then sit it down.
Quick question for you. The local cops, I'm not seeing many arrests. And I'm seeing illegal activity happening. Now, I've seen some of the feds rushing in and grabbing people and taking them into custody. Do you know from your sources why they're arresting some of these individuals?
You haven't seen arrests in the hundreds, Lawrence, but the LAPD has been arresting people. They've been out with zip ties throughout the day, Sunday and again yesterday. So arrests are being made by everybody involved in this. And I have to say that there was certainly legitimate questions about the response of the LAPD on Friday night. They did seem to me, as I watched it all unfold, to be very slow in moving. But since then, they have been heavily involved in policing the streets. And it appeared to me that all of the agencies, the LAPD, the LASD, California Highway Patrol, the National Guard, and federal officers from Homeland Security, all working very well together yesterday. The operation, I have to say, as it unfolded last night, of splintering these groups, forcing them backwards, making the arrests when necessary, seemed to be a very efficient.
Hey, man, look! They're throwing anime level like cartoon anime level cartoon explosives. Do y'all see this?
As it unfolded last night, of splintering these groups, forcing them backwards, making the arrests when necessary, seemed to be a very efficient one yesterday. And certainly arrests were being made, Lawrence.
Jonathan, what about the opposition? We hear it's three predominantly groups, the Coalition for Humane Immigration Rights, supported by the state, the government, and the Chinese government, the Party for Socialism and Liberation, and the Service.
Now, let me ask y'all this. Why do they have these parties that are supported by these Chinese governments as part of this protest? They need to get them up out of there, don't you think? If you guys think that it's probably not a bad idea, they need to get them Chinese supported ones up out of there first, quickly. Give me a thumbs up. Think about that. That's kind of off. That's a little bit off, isn't it?
Yesterday, and certainly arrests were being made, Lawrence.
Jonathan, what about the opposition? We hear it's three predominantly groups, the Coalition for Humane Immigration Rights, supported by the state, the government, and the Chinese government, the Party for Socialism and Liberation, and the Service Employees International Union. Have you seen them handing out face shields? Have you seen them handing out rocks and things like that? Some of them are wearing all black. Some organization there?
There's certainly some organization. And let's be frank, in any major protest, there is always a level of organization. There are always groups that get involved in that. And yes, masks are being handed out, water is being handed out, so there is organization on that level, as you would expect. And these are groups that we have seen before getting involved in other protests here. You'll recall the LAPD chief, Jim McDonnell, saying on Sunday that while there are people involved in these protests who have the cause of immigration in their heart and soul, they are not the ones, in his view, causing the violence. What Jim McDonnell said is that they are agitators, they are anarchists, as he put it, and he said you could use a lot of other words for them, who come in, they've seen them in the George Floyd protests, they've seen them in the anti-Wall Street protests. The same people keep coming back because in the view of Jim McDonnell, they just want to cause trouble. That's it.
And they're getting paid. Thanks so much, Jonathan.
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, you have Cory Booker, Maxine Waters, Hakeem Jeffries. They're all saying these are peaceful protests. If you watched our network last night, you saw they were not. Yeah. These rioters were throwing frozen water bottles at police. They were waving Mexican flags, burning American flags. They were handing out earplugs and gas masks, throwing Molotov cocktails. They hid baseball bats in the bushes. They lobbed fireworks and sticks at police. And I did see people being arrested, Lawrence, on my drive into work.
Look, let me ask y'all this question. They doing all this. They're attacking these police officers like this. How many of these people have gotten deleted? How many of these people have lost their lives in these protests? Somebody put the numbers in the chat. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Speaking of the numbers, if you guys haven't smashed the like button yet, do me a favor, take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. Also, please share this stream to your social media.
I was on social media just reading some of the articles. Lots of people were being arrested. There was one lady that punched a cop, and they put her on the ground. They arrested her. And I read that since Friday, there have been 60+ people arrested.
The problem is when they say the peaceful protesters, it's all organized in the sense of you got the people that throw stuff at the cops, and then the people that aren't throwing things, they use themselves as a shield, and they hide themselves behind those people. So you got to break it all up. I just worry about the whole situation. Anyway, we got to move on. All
right, it's 9 minutes after the top of the hour. As rioters attack law enforcement and destroyed property, California's Governor Gavin Newsom getting into a heated back and forth with President Trump.
Maddie Rivera joins us with the details from the White House with the growing feud. Good morning.
Good morning, Lawrence, Ainsley, and Brian. California Governor Gavin Newsom is already promising more legal action against the Trump administration, this time over the deployment of those 700 Marines. Remember, he's already suing the Trump administration over the deployment of the National Guard. The president, meantime, has called Newsom incompetent and is responding to the governor's allegation that he wants a civil war.
What do you make of the fact that he says you want a civil war on the streets of America?
No, that's just the opposite. I don't want a civil war. A civil war would happen if you left it to people like him.
So the president says he does not want a civil war, but the war of words between him and Newsom shows no signs of stopping at this point. Here he is backing Newsom's arrest after the governor dared border czar Tom Homan to do so.
Then the reporter asked me, well, could Governor Newsom or Mayor Bass be arrested? I said, well, no one's above the law. If they cross the line and commit a crime, absolutely they can.
Gavin Newsom he's daring Tom Homan to become an arrestor. Should he do it? I would do it if I were Tom. I think it's great. Gavin likes the publicity, but I think it would be a great thing. He's done a terrible job. Look, I like Gavin Newsom. He's a nice guy, but he's grossly incompetent.
Newsom saying on X, the president of the United States just called for the arrest of a sitting governor. This is a day I hoped I would never see in America. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. This is a line we cannot cross as a nation. This is an unmistakable step toward authoritarianism. Also happening today, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is appearing on Capitol Hill to testify about the Pentagon's budget. He will likely get questions about other issues like the deployment of those Marines and Signalgate. That hearing is supposed to kick off at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time today. Lawrence, Ainsley, and Brian.
Thanks, Maddie. Yeah, they have $1 trillion budget to discuss, but let's talk about Signalgate from 2 months ago. Just real quick, some of the quotes that are coming out of these rioters, quote, "We need to take down this empire once and for all," was heard out there. Also, it's important to point out most of the businesses that have been damaged are Hispanic.
Look, they said that they want to take down this empire once and for all, but they broke all these laws to get to the empire that they want to take down. It don't make no sense.
Hispanic businesses and the ones that have been looted, like T-Mobile, as well as Foot Locker, Hispanic businesses. I mean, these were the owners there. So what the hell are you doing? Working class areas, defiling federal buildings, and looting when you can. I mean, just think about this. Who's going to pick up the bill for this?
So you had that great interview with Homan yesterday, Lawrence, and you were asking him about, are y'all going to arrest Gavin Newsom? He said, we haven't even talked about that. You know, the president just was on the lawn, but they asked him yesterday, a reporter said, what crime has Gavin Newsom committed? And he said, I think his primary crime is running for governor because he's done such a bad job.
Well, he's trying to use this as a spearhead to run for president now. Now, remember, just a month ago, he decided he wanted to be a moderate. And he was doing all these podcasts with conservative. Now he's going right back to his roots, switching, turning the page. But someone has to explain this to me. If y'all have declared these unlawful assemblies, why are all these people still on the street? Well, why have it there? Why have it there then? Don't implement a law and say, hey, it's an unlawful assembly, and then just allow the people to continue to roam. So, yes, arrest the violent people, but it's unlawful right now.
Tom Homan's point with Mayor Bass and with Governor Gavin Newsom and the president's is if you tip off where two people about ICE raids that's happening with local officials, then you are committing a crime. And I think it's terrible that LAPD is not helping with the ICE raids. They go out and made a speech, had a press conference. I just want to tell you, everybody, we are not reporting you to ICE. We're not cooperating with ICE. I mean, think about that. How are you in law enforcement and are proud to make that announcement?
Think about this. Look at all the other things that they could not report, but they go ahead and report them. Think about that. Shout out to AB. AB said Trump is diabolical. Yeah, Trump diabolical. You know what I'm saying? Trump diabolical.
A Fox News alert: U.S. Marines being deployed to L.A. as violent anti-ICE protesters show no signs of letting up, setting cars on fire while throwing rocks.
Think about this, man. If you like, how many of y'all would choose to spend your day off doing this? Seriously, like. We shout out to the crew. What's good with it, bro? We're gonna keep it practical. Like, forget all of your political views, your political ideas. Let's just say, for instance, you found out you was off today. You gonna go downtown and do this? This what you gonna do? I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I don't care if I believed in this or not. I'm not gonna spend my day off doing this. I'm not gonna call off to do nothing like this. You know what I'm saying? Either. I don't waste my time doing this nonsense. Look at this.
A Fox News alert: U.S. Marines being deployed to.
It's hot down there. They got fog all in the air. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you even want to do this? Look, yeah, shout out to Carlton. Carlton said, I bet Officer Tatum would take that looting video and slow it down. See, they were black man right there. Usual suspect. Yeah, you know Officer Tatum would do that. You know Officer Tatum would do that. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing that Officer Tatum will not tell you is that his face is a receiving dock for Oscar Mayer hot dogs, which is wild. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, why would you do that? But that's what Officer Tatum does.
LA, as violent anti-ICE protesters show no signs of letting up, setting cars on fire while throwing fireworks. Our next guest says this is what happens when you defund law enforcement. Former LA County Sheriff Alex Villanueva.
Shout out to Alonzo.
Sheriff, thanks so much for joining the program.
You got it.
So, Sheriff,
this is this piece of crap sheriff right here, Villanueva. Now, what's interesting about this? They got him on Fox News. Villanueva is pro-immigration. He's pro-immigration. You know what I'm saying? Let's not make any mistake about that. I've done lots of videos about Sheriff Villanueva. You know, people don't care too much about this because on YouTube there's a cult, and what the cult tells people to care about, they care about. But I talked about Officer Villanueva ad nauseum back when I actually cared, you know what I'm saying, about the outcomes that people have. You know what I'm saying? And Officer Villanueva is a piece of crap. He's a typical one of them LA folks, if you know what I'm talking about. Just like Nuri Martinez. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm interested to see how this goes. I'm interested to see exactly what he says here.
I've been watching this all play out. They've defunded the police a long time ago. You got shortage there when it comes to cops, not only in LA County, but at large. How's the response been so far?
Well, it's been decidedly underwhelming and late. Had the local law enforcement, be it the sheriff's department and the police department, LAPD, gone to the aid of the ICE agents when they were under attack initially back on Thursday and Friday, they would have been a very different outcome today in terms of the National Guard. Both agencies are down massively. They don't have the normal mobile field forces they can have readily available to address these issues. So the introduction of the National Guard via the president was actually welcome, because now that frees up local law enforcement not to have to surround and guard, for example, the Metropolitan Detention Center. But as you can see, it's too little, too late, and they let the problem get out of hand. And now they're trying to play catch up with this. And this is a lesson they failed to learn from 1992.
So, Sheriff, hopefully you can shine some light on this. We're hearing from reporters, people on the ground that are saying they got control of this.
Now, he said that this is the lesson that they failed to learn from 1992. Let's go back in history. What happened in 1992? Somebody let me know what happened in 1992. Somebody let me know what happened in 1992.
Meanwhile, I'm getting texts from my guys that are there on the ground in LA, and they tell me they still got violent offenders out there, and they're not being able to arrest as many people. What are your guys telling you?
Exactly the same thing, that it is out of control in different pockets. And what happened, the worst that we saw on Sunday was absolutely downplayed by the local media, by the politicians. They're all saying, oh, it's largely peaceful. No, it was largely violent. And the concentration of violent activists embedded within people that were just looked like they were trying to peacefully protest was a joke. Because that was you look at the destruction of the CHP cruisers, the shutdown of the 101 freeway. And if you look at the tagging and the broken windows throughout the downtown quarter, it's alarming.
Sheriff, this is what the chief had to say about them doing their job on the ground. Let's watch it.
The introduction of federal military personnel without direct coordination creates logistical challenges and risks.
Now, we have to actually take a look at Karen Bass. Right? We got to take a good look at Karen Bass. Doesn't she look like a Dr. Seuss character? If Karen Bass looks like a Dr. Seuss character, give me a thumbs up. If she does not look like a Dr. Seuss character, then give me a thumbs down. If you ask me, Karen Bass looks like a Dr. Seuss character.
Confusion during critical incidents. The Los Angeles Police Department, alongside our mutual aid partners, have decades of experience managing large-scale public demonstrations, and we remain confident in our ability to be able to do so professionally and effectively.
Here's the problem, Sheriff. I'm not doubting the experience of our cops on the ground. I know they can do it. The problem is you got politicians that are cuffing them. There's also a resource gap as well. People fighting for territory that they want to have control of it, but then when it comes push time to show up, the rest people, they're not doing it. I mean, what are you seeing?
No. Hey, Carlton, Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said she looked like the lady from the Australian News Channel. Which one? Lefty's losing it? She looked like her. Look, don't do that. Don't do that.
There's a fight of territory. Local law enforcement, particularly the sheriff who was responsible for coordinating mutual aid among all these agencies, they were paralyzed in fear about coming to the aid of ICE agents who were under attack. And that right there is the genesis of this entire mess. And with that, all of a sudden, paralysis by not anything and see what happens. All the chaos unfolded.
But again, we gotta keep asking this question though. They have effectively went to California and made California look like a third world country where, right, the government and all that is breaking down. Where the government is breaking out. But this is what they said that they wanted to get away from. And then they came here and turned this into that.
After that. And that was the seed of it right there when they
Sheriff, I can't get over, because we know what it's like. When you have a cop, I don't care if they're federal, state, or local, when they get on the radio and they say officer assist, we're being surrounded, and the locals don't show up because a chief or whatever politicians say they can't show up, I found that shameful.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. In 2020, when I was the sheriff in that same position, I had 11 riots going on at the same time. I had all my mutual aid resources locally available. We deployed them as we needed, and then we activated the National Guard, and we got them involved. And well, it was very well coordinated, and it worked. LA didn't burn down like Seattle and Portland. But here you had the reverse, where the local authorities were held back because of the leadership. And this is Sheriff Luna, Mayor Karen Bass, and the governor himself refusing to commit the resources.
The people in that city don't like it. The people in this country don't like it. Seeing our flags burned, our cops being slammed and rocks at them. Sheriff, thanks so much for joining the program.
I'm Steve Doocy.
What do you guys think about that? Now, how many people have heard about what's going on in Miami? If you guys have heard about what's going on in Miami, give me a thumbs up. If you have not heard about what's going on in Miami, then give me a thumbs down. Apparently, right? Apparently, Miami is bracing for the possibility, quote unquote, of nationwide anti-ICE protests. Listen, I want to ask the American people this. Why are you not protesting the unemployment rate? Why are you not protesting the unemployment rate? Why are you not protesting inflation? Why are you not protesting $10 eggs? Why are you not doing any of these things? Why are you protesting for the granting of criminals to be ignored for the crimes that they commit? Can I ask that question? Somebody help me out.
President Trump ordering 2,000 additional National Guard troops to Los Angeles on top of the...
What did I tell you? Ditch the struggle identity. You see that? Dare to struggle. No. The association, how many people are tired of being associated with losses, loserdom, and struggle? I never understood how this was ever a flex. Why do people want to be the struggle people? I don't understand that. Life has been so unfortunate that the only thing that people can identify with and relate to is unfortunate stuff. I don't understand that. People attract to struggle like flies attract to crap. Shout out to Alpha Male Pimp Network. Right. Alpha Male Pimp Network says, why are they not protesting easy access to crypto? Well, you know what? This group of people, they actually are protesting crypto. Right? You know what I'm saying? What's that lady's name? The bald-headed lady that looks like Destro. She thinks she's Storm, you know what I'm saying, from the X-Men Gold team. She actually was up there in Congress sounding like a complete idiot protesting crypto. You know what I'm saying? She was up there protesting crypto. Why? Again, get rid of the struggle identity. Get rid of the struggle identity. Get rid of the struggle identity. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. If you're constantly around people that struggle, You're going to struggle. You got to put yourself around affluency, prosperity, people that are enterprising, rich, doing things, not struggling. If you're around criminals, you're going to do crime. If you're around struggle people, you're going to struggle and be suffocated, crying about everything all the time. You know what I'm saying? Which is what people do. You won't even listen. Let me ask you this. You know how people always say, "Oh, everybody runs to black people to help us." You know, and this has been a popular narrative ever since, you know, these riots and stuff have started breaking out. But it's been an even more popular narrative after the 60-year slumber and people start waking up to see that the Democrats are a scam. Not Bitcoin. The Democrats are a scam. You know what I'm saying? Let me correct people, right? Because the Democrats have made you broke over 60 years, right? And Bitcoin has made people $100,000 a pop in 10. So let's get that straight, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's get that straight. Now that we got that straight, right? Get rid of the struggle identity. Why do people always ask, "Oh, help us with the struggle"? Are people asking that? Nobody. I asked the question in the comment section. Did anybody ask you to riot today? Thank goodness. Maybe I just don't look like I'm approachable. No one asked me to riot today, right? No one asked me to riot today. But why do people ask people to riot with them? Hey, come riot with me. Because you'll do it. People that got nothing to lose are the first people to self-sacrifice. Why you got nothing to lose? Do you notice no one ever asks white people, come, you know what I'm saying? Come struggle with us. Now you got your little liberals, you know what I'm saying, that'll do the weird stuff. And a lot of that is, you know, because they have money and they want to do things for these particular organizations and all that. But at large, ain't nobody asking white people to commit. Hey, white boy, come struggle with me. Ain't nobody on that. You know what I'm saying? Ask the Asian people, come struggle with me. They not on that until they not getting into college. Then all of a sudden they got an issue, right? People come to people who project as having nothing to lose. And if you have nothing to lose, that means that you have nothing. So, you know, when people will say, stop coming to us, stop making yourself approachable. If you live in a mansion, you're not approachable. If you live in a gated community that you and your family built, you're not approachable. No one's gonna. When is the last time anybody knocked on a mansion door and said, "Come struggle with me"? No one did it. No one did it. You know what I'm saying? No one did that.
President Trump ordering 2,000 additional National Guard troops to Los Angeles on top of the 700 Marines sent by the Defense Department as anti-ICE riots enter now a fifth day this morning. Rioters were seen burning and spitting on the American flag while chanting anti-American slogans. Police say looting was also taking place, rioting breaking out coast to coast in New York City. 24 arrests made inside of Trump Tower after demonstrators.
Yes, yeah. And people identify with it. Identify with it, man. How many times do you see this played out in themes? Shout out to Carlton. If you guys agree with Carlton, give me a thumbs up. Carlton says, we've made having nothing a cultural pillar. If you agree with Carlton, give me a thumbs up. If you disagree with Carlton, give me a thumbs down. So next time, the proper question, you know what I'm saying? Like, tell the bigger content creators, like, you know, Philip Scott has been making a lot of content about what people are going up to Black Americans, FBAs, and asking Black Americans, you know what I'm saying? Because I guess people just be going up and asking people stuff. Ain't nobody asked me anything, you know what I'm saying? But, right? Next time, say, why did I seem approachable to where somebody would ask me something? Why did I seem approachable? Why would somebody ask me that? If I'm walking up and down the street, why would somebody ask me to help them? Because I look like I don't have nothing to lose. Why do I look like I don't have nothing to lose? Solve that problem. Solve that problem. Solve that problem that you're a walking invitation to somebody else's struggle. Solve that problem. Oh, somebody can't listen. No one's people will, if you're tall, somebody will ask you to get something off of a shelf. Why? Because you look like you can reach it. If you look like you're kind of sturdy, somebody might ask you to lift up an object that they might not be able to lift up. If you look like you don't have anything, or if you look like you ain't worth anything, somebody's going to say, well, why don't you just throw your worthless life away with me? Stop presenting as worthless. That takes self-effort, man. That takes pride in yourself. That takes actually having a valuation of yourself where you don't value yourself based on what other people say. The reason why people will ask you, can you help me, is if you look like a walking crash out. If you look like a walking crash out, come crash out with me. Don't even crash out on yourself. I know you're about to crash out on yourself. No. Don't do that. Come crash out with me. Come crash out for me. You know you about to rob the bank because you can't pay for your bills. Nah. Don't rob the bank. Come down here to LA with me so we can fight these police so that my auntie and my aunt can come to the United States. Yeah, stop looking like a walking crash out. People want to approach you to crash out with them. That's why people come up. I want to make, is that clear? If that's clear, give me a thumbs up. If it's not clear, give me a thumbs down. Everything is an invitation. Your appearance can be an invitation. You know what I'm saying? If a woman look good, hey, that's an invitation. I gotta see what's up with that, right? Everything is an invitation. So if you look like a walking crash out, you inviting somebody to say, come crash out with me. You know what I'm saying? That's why people get asked these questions. That's why. Has anybody gone to Harvard or Yale and say, hey, why don't you throw your life away with me at these protests? Now, the Harvard and Yale people would throw their lives away, you know, at the controlled, non-dangerous protests where they had a little Israel-Palestine thing going on. They're not going to be down here in the trenches down here. This grimy stuff going on in LA, they're not going to be down there. They're not going to be down there. So that's why. That's the why. You know what I'm saying? That's the why. Because if you look like a crash out, people probably going to say, you know, you crash out. Shout out to Carlton. Yeah, they're not built like that. They're not built like that. So how many people agree with me? The struggle identity needs to be purged. If you agree, give me a thumbs up. If you disagree, give me a thumbs down. The struggle identity and those who perpetuate it in order to control your mind and thoughts need to be purged. You know what I'm saying? The idea of your identity and struggling going hand in hand should not be an automatic thing. I'm tired. Listen, I'm tired of these fake pro-black and, you know what I'm saying, fake Pan-Africans. If you're so proud, then why do you connect every single thing about anything that you talk to some form of struggle or some form of weakness? This is pathetic behavior, if you ask me. And then turn around and ask why XYZ happened. We can always look at why XYZ happened if we look at what went on before it. People have identified with struggle for 60 years. Of course, you're going to be the first people that somebody asks, come struggle with me. Because they think and they looking, and that's the only thing that you define by. Right. Shout out to Alonda. Facts. Alonda said, for example, me and my homegirls get approached in clubs when we show cleavage and thigh. But when we dress modest, we don't get approached as much. Facts. Facts. If you look like $1 million, you cost $1 million. Most people know what's in and out of their price range. Got to bring it back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin costs $100,000, probably $110,000 today. Oh, I can't afford it. It costs too much. You're not even going to ask somebody to give you a Bitcoin. Why? You know ain't nobody going to give you $100,000. You know no one's going to give you $100,000. Why? Because outside of your price range. Price yourself out of the struggle so people don't even approach you with it. You walking down the street, you got some Gucci shoes, you got a Gucci outfit, your outfit costs $7,000, your car costs $100,000. Who's going to knock on your window and say, come struggle with me? Man, my interior of my car is worth more than your life. Are you serious? I'm about to go struggle with you. Look at you. Look at you. You go crash out. You got a head wrap. You got all kind of flags wrapped around just, man, just go do what you about to do. Leave me out of it. I'm about to continue enjoying my life. See what I got on? You see how my clothes cost double what you pay in rent? I want to keep living like that. Leave me alone. When you identify with struggle, you'll crash out with the best of them. Don't crash out, man. Don't crash out.
Chanted, bring them back. All refused to leave. Joining me now is the mayor of Miami, Florida, Francis Suarez. Mayor, great to see you this morning. Thank you so much for being here. And we wanted to get your take as a man who is leading a successful city of Miami, what you see taking place in Los Angeles. What's your reaction?
It's very sad.
Shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all have not smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you have not hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media.
You know, this is the United States of America. We believe in law and order. We believe that people have the right to protest, but they should do it in a peaceful way. I remember during the George Floyd protests in the city.
Now, I want you guys to understand what we got going here, right? Yeah, shout out to Brooklyn Queen. I wouldn't disagree with that. Brooklyn Queen says epigenetics is reversible. We're not going to relieve none of that. Reprogramming is a part of our generational wealth. I wouldn't disagree. You know what I'm saying? Right. Shout out to AB. Right. AB said your favorite YouTubers, right? Fraternizing with the actual enemy, but telling you to raise your fist in the air. Right. And make sure you open it up and drop a little bit of dollars in the cup. Facts. Facts. You know what I'm saying? That's real. That's real. You know what I'm saying? That's real. Now this cat right here. City of Miami. Roast. Right? Roast.
We had two very fundamental rules. Number one, if you hurt anybody or if you damage any property or business, you're going to jail.
I want to know. I want to know. Why are people so surprised that Democrat areas have such a high crime rate when here's a clear example of the Democrats supporting criminality. Now you got a bunch of knockoffs, right? You got a bunch of knockoff black light revelations out here. You know what I'm saying? And a bunch of knockoff black light revelations. You know, Robb says something, but Robb says it's questionable. There's nothing questionable. I want you guys to understand. There is nothing questionable ever about anything that I say. All you got to do is just Google it, right? So all you got to do is just Google it. Here is another instance of the Democrats clearly supporting criminal activity. Somebody tell me that I'm wrong. Shout out to Left Field. Left Field makes a very interesting point. Left Field said these other groups only think black people's existence in the U.S. is being slavery and civil rights activism. They think that, right? But let's add to that. They think that only when they need to benefit from that precedent, right? They think that only when they need to benefit from that precedent. When they don't need to benefit from that precedent, None of that happened. None of it existed. Let me get right here on Charlie Kirk and just make up a bunch of lies about American history because I can barely breathe because my nose is so thin I can't get enough oxygen to circulate any air into my brain. You know what I'm saying? Right? You know what I mean? These other groups only think black people's existence in the U.S. being slavery and civil rights activism. They assume we want to buy into the struggle, and many of us believe this as well. Now, I would agree with that also, right? But here's the thing. They buy into the struggle. They assume people want to buy into the struggle based on what they see displayed by people. Based on what they see displayed by people. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man DSB. I appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show DSB some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for DSB for funding the organization. And he bought y'all lunch.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the marching dimes.
In Springfield,
me ain't Donald Trump trying to grab him by the... Said it was some Haitians somewhere out in Springfield. Women doing cartwheels. Have you seen Garfield? Have you seen Snowball? This about to snowball. I'm about to go off. I can't let this go on. Miss me like an airball. Tell me when my cat is cough it up like a hairball. I gotta tell them if they even put the fingernail on Santa's little helper to turn them to hamburger helper. Somebody better help them, cause I'm going to jail for showing them fellas helter skelter. Usually I'm content, but if you touch my dog, then I'm turning into John Wick. I'm lit. Bird better drop it. If you touch my pet, then I'm pulling up like CrossFit. They said Hello Kitty, but it ain't there. It's right here in your city. When I turn my back, now the cat goes missing in the where my peoples is at. Does anybody know where he clipped with that? Cause I heard they putting claws on felines, I'm mad. And my cat disappeared just like Felix the cat. And they got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat. Got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat.
they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat.
Drop that cat.
Oh man, that's wild. Shout out to Tedra. I didn't realize I didn't play it for you, Tedra. My bad. Shout out to Tedra. Tedra said, I'm jealous because you didn't play it for me. I got you. Hold on real quick. My bad. Make sure y'all show some love for Tedra. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, some ducks in the chat for Tedra. You know what I'm saying? I forgot to play. I forgot to play it. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, I got you.
Don't push me, ain't Donald Trump trying to grab him by the... Said it was some Haitians somewhere out in Springfield. Women doing cartwheels. Have you seen Garfield? Have you seen Snowball? This about to snowball. I'm about to go off. I can't let this go on. Miss me like an airball. Tell me when my cat is coughing up like a hairball. I gotta tell them if they even put the fingernail on Santa's little helper to turn them to hamburger helper. Somebody better help them, cause I'm going to jail for showing them fellas helter skelter. Usually I'm content, but if you touch my dog, then I'm turning into John Wick. I'm lit. Bird better drop it. If you touch my pet, then I'm pulling up like CrossFit. Where they said Hello Kitty, but it ain't there. It's right here in your city. When I turn my back, now the cat goes missing in the where my peoples is at. Does anybody know where he clipped with that? Cause I heard they putting claws on felines, I'm mad. And my cat disappeared just like Felix the cat. And they got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat. Got paid back. Thought she was a goner, but the cat came back. If you ain't a pussy cat, say drop that cat. Drop that cat. Drop that cat.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat.
Drop that cat.
Hey, they eating the cats. Hey, look. Hey, look. Hey, Trump would have got the military if he could right then at the debate. Hey, he would have deployed the National Guard right then, right when it was going down in Springfield. Man, he would have got the National Guard right out there.
And it was a zero tolerance policy, and because of that, we had very little arrests, and our police department had very, very few confrontations. But you can never, ever allow things to get disordered, because once you do that, it sort of slides into anarchy, and then it builds on itself. And of course, it makes absolutely perfect sense that the president would step in. He is the president of the United States. The last thing he wants to see is images like the ones you're showing right now on the screen in the country that he runs. And it's, again, it's embarrassing as a leader of a city or as a governor to see that kind of lawlessness in your jurisdiction.
Yeah, I mean, look, we are getting reports that there is something scheduled nationwide on Saturday, and you've been seeing pockets of...
Now, they said there's something scheduled. Again, something scheduled nationwide on Saturday. How many people have heard about anything, quote unquote, scheduled nationwide on Saturday? Listen, I'm going to be 100. Like I said, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. You definitely not about to catch me wasting my weekend. You know what I'm saying? Doing that, doing what they doing. I'm not doing any of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to, if I have a weekend off, I'm kicking it. Right? Yeah. Shout out to AB. Either I'm not going anywhere or I'm going somewhere, but where I'm going is not going to be in the middle of the street with the funk fog, sweating, you know what I'm saying, getting tear gassed with a bunch of freaks and weirdos. Yeah, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Of rioting in other big cities. Oh, can you give us a sense of what's happening in Miami? Are you expecting any rioters there in Miami?
We've seen some chatter, and we've received some, some images online about some sort of protest on Saturday. I've had multiple conversations with my police chief, with my COO, to make sure that we are ready, and they've assured me that we are. Like I said, we.
Facts. Shout out to Carl. Carl to say whatever happens, I hope it makes the crypto market dip. Facts. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Bitcoin Bitcoin about to break out the gate. I don't know.
We have experience with these kinds of things. We're a big city, but we're also a city that, epitomizes, law and order. And we're a city that will always make sure that the peace of all of our residents is being enjoyed, because you don't have a few people, some of which oftentimes are paid or are intentionally trying to create chaos and sow chaos through the kinds of organizations that do that on a regular basis, Antifa, et cetera. We want to make sure that those people don't get a foothold, that they're not able to rabble rouse and get other people excited, because that's their objective. What happened in Miami during George Floyd was the first night they tried those kinds of things. We clamped down. I think we had 50 arrests the first night. And then from that point forward, I think we had 5 arrests on average a day. So, once you demonstrate that you are not going to tolerate, this kind of anarchy, that you're not going to tolerate lawlessness, and that you're doing something about it, and that you're prepared, you'll see the results, and those people will go away, and they'll go somewhere where they think they can have more.
Shout out to AW1. What's good with it, bro? Make sure y'all show my man AW1 some love. And if you're not subscribed to the channel over on Twitch, make sure that you take a moment and go over there and subscribe to the channel on Twitch. Shout out to you, bro.
Success.
I mean, look at some of the people that the administration has already arrested. The mainstream media likes to put on this act as if President Trump doesn't want immigration, as opposed to what he's fighting, which is illegal immigration and actual criminality. I mean, some of the people that we've got on this list, a Vietnamese national, known gang member, convicted already of second-degree murder, arrested in 1994 after participating in cold-blooded murder. You've got another from Mexico, dangerous weapons, and he's armed.
Now, again, right? Can I ask you this? Do you guys see this? Do you guys disagree with me that the Democrats are pro-crime culture? Again, never confuse yourself as to why in many Democrat areas the crime rate is so high, right? One of the reasons is because criminality is a large part of the Democratic platform. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Armed, already convicted of child molestation, a Filipino national with convictions for rape, assault, burglary, theft, convictions for sex with a minor, convictions for domestic violence, hit and run, previously arrested for willful cruelty to a child, convictions for burglary, possession of stolen property. I mean, you know, the list is long here, but these are the people who have been arrested in Los Angeles just recently. So I'm trying to understand, you know, who is actually rioting? Are these people who came into the country illegally, or do you think that this is a mix of American citizens as well?
The primary role of any public official, from the president on down to a mayor, is to make sure that your city, your state, or your country is safe. That is our number one goal. In fact, in the city of Miami, we are right now on pace to have the lowest homicide in recorded history. So since we started recording homicides in the 1940s, so it is literally the safest year on record today in the city of Miami. So that is our number one goal. Obviously, after that, you try to take care of everyone economically, make sure that everyone has, you know.
Shout out to AV Promotions. AV Promotions said her voice is annoying. Right. It sounds like she's about to get Mr. Sheffield. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Sheffield. Mr. Sheffield, I gotta go to work and talk about immigration today, Mr. Sheffield. You know what I'm saying? She sounds like she's about to go talk to Mr. Sheffield.
You know, affordable housing, and make sure that you have low homelessness. We're an 11-year low in homelessness. But what the president is doing is, he's making sure that Americans are safe. I think the other part that doesn't get discussed enough is the tragedy of illegal immigrants that are trafficked or part of human trafficking rings, and also that they're exploited. What happens if you're an illegal immigrant right now is obviously you are at the mercy of whoever you're working for, and that person can exploit you. And so that's also something that doesn't get discussed enough.
Okay, so that's not what? That's not restricted to illegal immigrants. That's a problem that anybody that has an employer deals with. But I want you guys to pay very close attention. Again, do you see? I want you to see how and why they focus these issues only on particular segments of America, and we're not going to discuss the wider problem. Everybody's getting exploited by their job. Everyone's getting exploited by the Federal Reserve. This is happening to everyone. Would you guys agree or would you disagree? But what we need to concentrate on is we need to concentrate on the criminals that came here illegally so they can get fair treatment first. What kind of sense does that make? Does that make any sense? If that makes any sense, give me a thumbs up. If it don't make any sense, give me a thumbs down.
Are safe. I think the other part that doesn't get discussed enough is the tragedy of illegal immigrants that are trafficked or part of human trafficking rings, and also that they're exploited. What happens if you're an illegal immigrant right now is obviously you are at the mercy of whoever you're working for, and that person can exploit you. And so that's also something that doesn't get discussed enough, unfortunately. And so the very people that are defending these illegal immigrants are often hurting them by not talking about some of these issues that impact them in a way that's not to their benefit. And I think the president right now is obviously focused, understandably, on the tax bill, and I think that's his number one priority, as well it should be, because that's going to propel the economy of the country. But after that, I could totally see the president pivoting to find a way to solve the immigration reform issue and create something that's good for the country, that's good for our national security, and that's good for our economic well-being long term.
Yeah, I mean, the president just posted a few minutes ago on Truth Social, Mr. Mayor, and here's what President Trump just wrote. If I didn't send in the troops to Los Angeles the last 3 nights, that once beautiful and great city would be burning to the ground right now, much like the 25,000 houses burned to the ground in L.A. Due to an incompetent governor and mayor. Incidentally, the much more difficult, time-consuming and stringent federal permitting process is virtually complete on these houses, while the easy and simple city and state permits are disastrously bungled up and way behind schedule. They're a total mess, he writes. And the president just posted this. Mr. Mayor, if you also have dealt with illegal migration in Miami. I know you've got lots of people illegally coming through from Cuba. Is there something?
Again, I don't understand this. I don't understand this. And I think that it needs to be explored. And I think that is something that we need to kind of try to figure out. Right? How does supporting this make any sense to anybody? Somebody help me out here. Somebody explain to me, how does supporting this make any sense at all? Does it make any sense? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense to me. How does it make sense? Somebody help me out. How does it make sense? How does supporting this make any sense? You're supporting criminality, right? How many people would agree? If you support this, you're supporting criminality. It's the same thing. So again, it's another instance where it's very clear and it's very obvious the Democrats support clear criminality. The Democrats support criminality. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Thing that you would recommend be done in Los Angeles on a mayoral level, because Karen Bass has so far just criticized President Trump.
Well, criticizing the president is definitely not going to solve the problem. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I think you have to take responsibility. You have to take ownership. As a mayor, your number one responsibility is to make sure that you're prepared for these kinds of incidents. And then when they happen, that you can lead through them. Make sure that your police feels empowered, that they feel supported, and that whatever sort of flare-ups there are throughout the city, you quell them immediately, and you make sure that they don't get out of control, which is what we're seeing, unfortunately, in the city. And unfortunately, the president has been forced to act, right? Because he doesn't want to see one of the major cities in America burned to the ground.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor, you were with President Trump for his very successful Middle East trip. Since you've been floated as a possible candidate for the next ambassador to Saudi Arabia. Tell me about that trip, and would you accept that position? Should the president want you to do it?
I think it was a master class by the president. I called him the peacemaker in chief or the deal maker in chief, because he was creating these economic deals that inure to the benefit of our country, and also focusing on peace by lifting the sanctions in Syria and focusing on making sure that he strengthens relationships in the Middle East.
Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen said, I was late to the stream, so I'll catch the replay for what I missed. But where's the Iceman, Tom Homan? We haven't got to Tom Homan yet, but from what I understand, how many people have heard this? From what I understand, Tom Homan said that he's going to arrest Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom. Shout out to Katsy. Katsy they say they are working the jobs we don't want. Most of it is seasonal. Temp visas really work well for that. Right. They're working the jobs we don't want, talking about like gang banging. You know what I'm saying? Right. Shout out to Left Field. Left Field said this dude is just as incompetent as Bass. Barely can drunk spring breakers. Yeah. They had a whole mess down there. But you see, he's just trying to get a job. You see, like, this is actual. We're literally looking like, I mean, this dude is rubbing all on Trump. You know what I'm saying? He rubbing all on Trump's arm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already know what time it is. He's one of them people, like, he'd do anything for a raise. So, you know.
Creating these economic deals that inure to the benefit of our country. And also focusing on.
They're supposed to be in Saudi Arabia, right? Entertaining this Arabic family. But look, he all up in Trump's face. You know what I'm saying? He all up in Trump. I don't care nothing about what y'all got going on. You got a job for me or not? You know what I'm saying? Trump, like, I'm trying to talk to these people. I don't care about none of that. What do I got to do to get a job is what I want to know. You know what I'm saying?
I think it was a master class by the president. I called him the peacemaker in chief or the deal maker in chief, because he was creating these economic deals that inure to the benefit of our country, and also focusing on peace by lifting the sanctions in Syria and focusing on making sure that he strengthens relationships in the Middle East in a moment that's so critical. You know, people often forget his Abraham Accords that set the stage for long-term peace in the Middle East. And so for me, what I've said is I've collaborated with all the Middle Eastern countries, whether it's Israel, Qatar, UAE, and particularly Saudi. But I was very blessed to create relationships at the highest levels in Saudi Arabia and bring one of the most prominent conferences in the world, the FII conference, to Miami, where we've had it for 3 years. The president opened the FII conference in Miami just this year. So he gave us a great tip of the cap for what we're doing in the city. We announced a ministry.
All this dude is doing is he's just running down his resume. Like, he hasn't answered any questions about immigration. I want a job. I want the job. Tell Trump anything that he wants, I will do. Just tell Trump, you know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? Like, you messing up my stream, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? You messing up my stream. Now, they say that the Democrats just want to fight with the Republicans. All right. The Democrats just want to fight. You know what I'm saying? Now, we got your girl, OnlyFans model, Christy Nome down here. Hold on real quick. All right. She be cosplaying in them ice bikinis. You know what I'm saying? Democrats itching for fight over immigration. So they say that the Democrats want to fight over immigration. Why do they want to fight over immigration is my question. Somebody let me know. None of these people voted for him. Right? Well, some of them might have illegally, right? But in most cases, right, none of these people voted for anybody. So why do they want to fight about this so badly? Like, does it make any sense? It doesn't make any. It doesn't make any sense to me. Look at this. One of the first idiots listed in this article is your boy Hakeem Jeffries. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Hakeem. You know what I'm saying? His name is Hakeem Jeffries. Didn't nobody name you Hakeem? Didn't nobody name that boy Hakeem? That's a fake name. Yeah, he definitely was looking for that Trump glizzy. He was definitely looking for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for the Trump glizzy. Like, for real, bro. Like, calm it down, man. You know, you being too obvious. People gonna start talking about you. Look at this. Democrats are diving forcefully back into the immigration fight, dismissing concerns about political backlash to confront President Trump directly on a polarizing issue that ranks among the president's strongest suits in the eyes of voters. Okay. Shout out to AB Promotions. AB Promotions said, Rob, why is his name fake? Because whose first name is Hakeem that got a last name Jeffries? Come on, man. You got Hakeem Olajuwon, and you know what I'm saying? You don't have no Hakeem Jeffries, bro. Like, this is fake. You know what I'm saying? This is residual leftover 1980s Malcolm X hat nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Is what this is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he trying to still move with that swag. Like, bruh, it's 2025. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta up your game, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta up your game. You gotta up your game. You know what I'm saying? You sit up there listening to X Clan. You know what I'm saying? You gotta up your game, fam. You know what I'm saying? You a clown. Hakeem Jeffries is a beige clown. Would you guys agree? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. This dude is a beige clown for real. You know what I'm saying? AB said one question: does he work? Nah, he works people's nerves. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? He said like the house that burned up in. Yeah, you know Trump took it there. Shout out to Hakeem. I said shout out to Hakeem. Shout out to Cameron. Cameron said Hakeem Jeffries been to those parties to be put on. Yeah, he was definitely at them parties. He was at the parties trying to be the cool guy too, like just babysitting a glass of Tito's. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Left Field. Yeah, like he's somebody in a different world or something like that. Like he was friends with Ron and Dwayne Wayne. You know what I'm saying? I'm where Denise at? You know what I'm saying? I'm Hakeem Jeffries, man. Shut your corny ass up. You Democrat cornball. Shout out to Cameron. Cameron said, he passes the egg test. Facts. The yolk's on him. Facts. The yoke's on him. You know what I'm saying? This punk ass motherfucker, man. Hakeem Jeffries. You know what I'm saying? This dude is a straight up clown, man. Straight up clown. You know what I'm saying? Straight up clown. Democrats are forcefully diving into the immigration fight. And Hakeem, Hakeem Jeffries tried to do the ancestor shaming. And our ancestors who want us to, man, shut your dumb ass up. Shut your dumb ass up and go sit down over there. That's what somebody needs to tell Hakeem Jeffries. Why are you not allowed to say stuff like that during these like Senate hearings and stuff like this? Man, go sit your stupid ass down. Listen, Hakeem Jeffries is like, you know what I'm saying? What was Mike Epps' name on Next Friday? Day. Hakeem Jeffries is like if Day was a politician. You know what I'm saying? Because shout out to AB Brother, his name's some old scam shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this check signed Hakeem Jeffries. Think your name ain't Hakeem Jeffries, man. Shut your fraudulent ass up. Shout out to Tedra. Tedra said he annoys me because he tries to be down. He's not trying. He is down syndrome. You know what I'm saying? He is down bad. You know what I'm saying? Clown ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Who voted for this bitch ass nigga, man? Listen, whoever voted, and again, these people don't get in office, right? They don't get in office just walking through the door. Somebody votes for these people, man. Who voted for this fool? They need to get yoked up too. You know what I'm saying? Hakeem Jeffries, man, he's sitting around holding a cup of wine and shit. By the time the party over, he'll still be holding the same warm-ass cup of wine. Man, drink that shit. You know what I'm saying? Corny ass. We got to fight the power. And shit, man, shut your dumb ass up. Is it really? Shut up. That's what I'm saying. That's the fake name family. Shout out to Carlton. Right. Cameron said his wife's name is Kennisandra. Is it really Kennisandra? That's his wife's name? Kennisandra? It's another fake name. Kennisandra. You know what I'm saying? Get the hell out of here. Get the fuck out of here. What's that? A combination between the fucking dad and mom's name? My daddy named Kenny, my mom named Sandra. Man, go on somewhere with this. This is ridiculous. People voted for that. He down. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. People love to be entertained, but like that shit can be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is leading the charge. Not only has he waged an animated defense of Representative LaMonica. Listen, shout out to listen, man. Hey, man, listen, man. Shout out to Tony Yayo, man. Shout out to Tony Yayo, man. I don't give a fuck about these pussy ass niggas on YouTube that claim they don't like certain celebrities and shit like that, man. Fuck these niggas. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with 50 Cent. I fuck with G Unit, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tony Yayo. Tony Yayo said this. He dropped these jewels. You know what I'm saying? He said, when he was talking about Supreme, he said, I don't trust niggas with no weird ass eyes. You know what I'm saying? Now look at Hakeem Jeffries. Look at Hakeem Jeffries. The fact that people voted for this fool is how you know ain't no one out here has any kind of street smarts. No one has any kind of street smarts. Go look it up. Tony Yayo said it. You know what I'm saying? He said, I don't really, I don't be trusting, you know what I'm saying, black people that got quote unquote funny eyes. Look at Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries got quote unquote funny eyes. People voted for this clown. You know what I'm saying? And he's from New York. What kind of name is this? Is what I'm saying. What kind of name is this? Kenny Sarah Archingius Jeffries? What the fuck? What the hell kind of name is that? That's one of them kente cloth names. Shout out to Cameron. Cameron said he looks like he got beat up for his lunch money and he kisses boys. Bro, he wears a church suit 7 days a week. Clown ass. You know what I'm saying? Oh, chump ass nigga. Really, man, really. Who voted for Hakeem Jeffries? Shout out to AB. AB said, nah, he beat Charles Barron in East New York. The white ruling class put him in. They like that. That's what I said. They understand them eyes. That's what Tony Yayo was talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what Tony Yayo was saying. You know what I'm saying? House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, who a bunch of people voted for, is leading the charge. Not only has he waged an animated defense of Representative LaMonica McCulver, who is facing federal charges following a recent scuffle with U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement agents outside a migrant detention center in New Jersey. So this is a political ploy right here. He's also demanding that the masked ICE officers involved in the fracas and Trump's broader mass deportation campaign be publicly identified. You know what I'm saying? Every single ICE agent who is engaged in this aggressive overreach and are trying to hide their identities from the American people will be unsuccessful in doing that, Jeffries told the reporters in the Capitol. So they're going to try to dox these ICE agents is what the Democrats are going to do. Shout out to AB. AB said the African delegation is going to have to decline Cassandra addition to the Cassandra addition to the Kente Cloth family. Bro, that's hilarious. Hey, man, who named their kid that? Come on, man. Who named their kid that? Kenny Sandra. Who did it? Kenny. He calls her Kenny. Hey, come here, Kenny. Come here, Kenny. You know what I'm saying? You used to calling your wife Kenny. You know what I'm saying? That's not some shit I could get used to. I couldn't get used to calling I couldn't get used to calling no woman that I'm dealing with Michael. You know what I'm saying? Or John. Hey, come here, John. You know what I'm saying? The fuck? He called he calls his wife, hey, Kenny, come here. Come here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DSA. What's good with it, bro? Come here, Kenny. Kenny kind of skinny. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Get the hell out of here with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Making fun of this cat wife. You know what I'm saying? He's part of the people that don't believe in a wife anyway. You know what I'm saying? He believe in getting that cork popped. You know what I'm saying? He believe in getting that cork popped. That boy that boy believe in getting that turkey stuffed. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about it's Thanksgiving every day for the Democrats. They believe they definitely is all about getting that turkey stuffed. You know what I'm saying? That's their thing. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? They're making laws about it. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Somebody got a problem with you getting your turkey stuffed? We're going to make it legal for you. Like, come on, man. Oh, man. Shout out to AB. AB said, my wife's grandfather used to call his daughter George. Bro, my great-grandmother's name was Tom. You know what I'm saying? Tom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the breadstick in the Nutella game. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to AB. AB said her name was Bernadette. They call her Birdie. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at it. Now look, this is what Hakeem Jeffries said. Hakeem, you know what I'm saying? Hakeem Homeboy Shopping Network Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries like a character off In Living Color, man, that actually made it into the White House. This is America, he added. This is not the Soviet Union. We're not behind the Iron Curtain. This is not the 1930s. And every single one of them, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will, of course, be identified. They're not going to identify any of these people, just so you know. Spoiler alert. No one's getting identified. How many, if you guys would agree, no one's getting identified, give me a thumbs up. If you guys think that somebody is getting identified, let me know who you think is getting identified. No one's getting identified. No one's getting identified. The call drew immediate howls from officials with the Department of Homeland Security and other Republicans who have long accused Democrats of siding with people in the country illegally over the rule of law, the major theme of Trump's successful campaign last year. I don't think this is an accusation. I mean, this is actually true. How many people would agree this is actually true? If you guys would agree that this is true, give me a thumbs up. If you would disagree and you would say that this is not true, then give me a thumbs down. This is true. What are we talking about here? Many of the GOP critics are accusing Democrats of putting the safety of federal law enforcement officers in jeopardy. I mean, a lot of Democrats actually out here attacking them. You know what I'm saying? They're physically attacking these people. Let them immigrants stay. You know what I'm saying? They in the street. Let them immigrants stay. Smacking people with their purses and everything. Hakeem Jeffries was the main one smack somebody with a purse, I heard. I heard he took his high heels off and started trying to hit somebody with it. They snatched him up, though. They said, we need you to do these speeches. Snatched his ass up before he was able to hit somebody with his new pair of red bottoms. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. He was doing the Cardi B. Hey, he was doing the Cardi B. He was about to make them red bottoms some bloody shoes for real. You know what I'm saying? They snatched his ass up. Your ass in his vanish. Your ass in his vanish. Put the motherfucking shoes back on. Oh, man. Shout out to Karen. Yeah, he had a Coach bag. You know what I'm saying? He had a Michael Kors with his weird ass. Oh, man, he was doing that. He was doing that overnight celebrity like Kanye and Twister. He was gonna hit him with the Jimmy Choo with the Jimmy Choo Montego bag. Oh, man, you know what I'm saying? Hakeem clown ass Jeffries, man. He said we take threats to law enforcement very serious. As the state leading the nation in immigration enforcement, Florida will not sit idly by and allow agents from DHS, ICE, or state and local agencies to be targeted. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis posted on X linking to Jeffrey's comments. And then Jeffrey went in the car and started crying. You know what I'm saying? DeSantis said he's instructed Florida's law enforcement officers to be on the lookout for any doxing campaigns aimed at law enforcement officers and to respond quickly. Yeah, so this is what they plan on doing. They like I said, they plan on doxing these ICE agents. Now, you know, it is what it is, right? You know, a lot of people nowadays, everybody love ICE. Everybody love ICE. You know what I'm saying? It's a real big theme, especially in social media. Everybody love ICE. You even got, you know what I'm saying, like a lot of your pro-blacks and the people that call themselves Pan-Africans and stuff, call ICE. You know what I'm saying? ICE, ICE, ICE. You know what I'm saying? ICE, ICE, baby, right? Listen, man, I don't care about none of that. As far as I'm concerned, ICE ain't nothing but law enforcement officers with a different uniform. I don't fuck with law enforcement at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's the Highway Patrol. I don't care if it's the U.S. Marshal. I don't care if it's the Army. I don't care if it's the Navy. I don't care if it's the military. I don't care if it's the Marines. I don't care if it's the National Guard. I don't care if it's the state troopers. Nah. I don't fuck with no law enforcement. None. See, I'm real with the shit. I don't fuck with law enforcement. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, as far as, you know, whatever happened to him, hey, whatever happened to him is whatever happened to him, right? But I think it's kind of weird. I think it's kind of weird that you got one sector of the government encouraging attacks on another sector of the government, and they all get the same paycheck. That's like the accounting department saying, man, we about to go ride on them dudes over in marketing like that. You all work for the same company. That's stupid. I don't work for that company. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't mess with law enforcement. I'm not like y'all. You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with law enforcement. You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with any law enforcement. You know what I'm saying, if you ask me, like, you can't be pro cop and pro ICE. Like, it don't make any sense. I don't now my thing is, you're not about to catch me doing no immigration rallies and riots and all that. I'm not about to be out in the street, but when I say I don't fuck with law enforcement. I don't fuck with law enforcement. But I find it weird that you got one sector of the government attempting to literally attack another sector of the government. I think that that's strange. If you guys think that that's strange, if you think that that's weird, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. So now here it says Capitol Hill Republicans are piling on Senator Marsha Blackburn this week, introduced legislation designed to shield federal law enforcers from doxing. Violators could face 5 years in prison. Yeah, so they making it where they're not going to be able to dox these people. Which it is what it is, right? I don't care less, right? But I think that it's interesting that the government is doing this to itself. It's very strange. The pushback has done little to dissuade Jeffries. Now, I want you to see how the main thing here is look at how hard beige, hazel-eyed Hakeem Jeffries is banging for doing all that. I'm gonna do all this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do all this. He's not trying to get. Let me ask you this: is he trying to get your votes? He got funny eyes, man. What Tony Yayo say about them folks with funny eyes? Who on Thursday doubled down on his identification push, wondering why those involved in Trump's mass deportation campaign should enjoy privileges of anonymity that others in law enforcement don't. They do. What is he talking about? You never heard of an undercover? You know what I'm saying? It seems to me that the officials at the Department of Homeland Security, including ICE, should be held to the same standards as every other part of law enforcement in terms of transparency, he said. Actually, they shouldn't, because they're the only group, they're the only group of law enforcement that doesn't enforce the law on American citizens. So they should actually have more freedom to do what they want to. The other law enforcement, yeah, they dealing with American citizens. Yeah, they got to go by the book. Absolutely. Nah, I should just be able to do whatever they want to, as long as they're doing it to people not lawfully here. I don't care, man. You ain't protected by the Constitution. You're not part of our population. You know what I'm saying? The strategy has its risk. Trump has built his political brand around an American first message, which we know is bogus, that has propelled him into the White House in 2016 and again in 2024. His big, beautiful bill is working its way through Congress to crash the American dollar. No, it doesn't say that. As a central feature, an immigration crackdown that has helped usher the bill through the House last month. And while Trump's approval rating is underwater across almost every major issue, including the economy, recent polls indicate his approach to immigration is the sole exception, winning more supporters than detractors. Still, the Democrats' aggressive pushback against Trump's policies is a clear sign that they're not shying away from the immigration issue. I want you to understand this, man. The Democrats choose their issues. Now, here's my question. Let me ask you this. How do you force a Democrat to do what you tell it to do? That's my question. I don't understand why people are having conversations other than that. I don't understand. See, first and foremost, when it comes to YouTube, the YouTube gods are telling you, right? They're telling you that Democrats are the only way that you'll ever be able to get any type of political objective through. This is what they say. This is why there's so much pressure. Oh, we gonna do this, we gonna do that, whatever, right? If that's the case, if that's the approach that people want to take, here's my question to everybody. How do you force a Democrat to do what you tell it to do? How do you keep a Democrat on a tight leash? How do you do it? That's the conversation that people should be having. You know what I'm saying? How do you control a Democrat's oxygen flow? Right? That's the question that people should be asking. But people are not asking that question. Mike, why not? Why are people not asking that question? Because they're not aggressive, man. Being aggressive has been looked at as a bad thing. And then when people are aggressive toward people, they're like, oh, why are people so aggressive? You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the potential pitfalls, and the demasking of ICE agents is just one front of a broader fight they're taking up this year. Okay. I want to know what people think about Hakeem Jeffries, man. I'm about to jump out the window on this immigration issue, man. Listen, forget everybody that voted for us for the last 60 years, man. Hey, I just want y'all to know, thank you, man. Thank you for keeping us in office, man. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. We ain't got nothing for you, though, right now. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask me nothing. We ain't got nothing for you, man. Ask me something to do for you. I ain't got nothing for you. I ain't got nothing for you, man. I got to deal with these immigrants right now. You know what I'm saying? How y'all feel about that? We taking notes. How y'all feel about that? People tired of hustling backwards yet? No? Okay. Well, carry on. In recent weeks, Democrats have also rallied behind immigrants deported without due process. There is no due process. You don't get due process is a constitutional right. If you're not a United States citizen, you don't get no due process. What do people not understand about that? You know what I'm saying? Like at the very least, you might get human rights protections. That's like UN human rights protections. You don't get due process. Due process is a constitutional right. Would you guys, if you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. Due process is a constitutional right. It's not a right that everybody gets. Democrats have also rallied behind immigrants deported without due process, including a Maryland resident who was mistakenly sent to El Salvador. Was he mistakenly sent to El Salvador? Isn't that where he's from? Help me out here, guys. They've staged public protests outside migrant detention centers like the one in Newark that led to McIlver's arrest. And top Democrats are up in arms after DHS agents stormed into the district office of Representative Jared Nadler and handcuffed a staffer with accusations that aides were harboring immigration rioters. Okay. Representative Jamie Raskin, the senior Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee, characterized the later incident as intolerable. I mean, again, why? Why? Now, shout out to James. James says it's a written rule to not do anything for quote unquote ADOS FBA politically, I believe. Now, here goes my question. Who follows rules? Make the rules. Make the rules. This is the difference. This is why people cannot sit around and expect for treatment. You know what I'm saying? People need to be the determinant of how everybody else is being treated. If you have all the resources, if you have all the power, it doesn't matter how. The only way that people have a choice to treat you is we're going to treat you in a way where you don't want us to. We don't want you to crush us. But again, the reason why this doesn't occur, you have to understand is people are weak, people are docile, and people have an expectation of treatment. People are not aggressive. There's an expectation of treatment. These people don't treat me a certain kind of way. Who cares? When you walk into the room, everybody should know who controls the light switch on everybody's life. When you control the light switch on everybody's life, the only way that people can treat you is a way that says, let me continue to live. This is unheard of. This is unheard of because of struggle identity, because of identifying with the weak side, because of the desire to be an underdog. Why do people avoid dangerous animals? This is my question. Let me ask you guys this. Why do people avoid dangerous animals? Some people avoid dangerous animals. Not all, but most, right? Why do most people avoid dangerous animals? Because they don't want to get harmed. People don't avoid you when there's not a threat of getting harmed. It's very simple. Shout out to Cameron. Right. Nothing to gain from pain. Right. So if you're the one that if you have the capability of distributing death and distributing pain, everyone is going to treat you appropriately. And the only appropriate treatment for that is, let me interact with you in a way where you won't unleash these things on me. But people don't want to move like that. People identify with weakness and struggle. Weakness and struggle says, my current situation is dependent on how people treat me. No one has to treat anybody any kind of way. Somebody has the right to treat you nasty. Somebody has the right to treat you good if they want to. But the expectation of quote unquote good or fair treatment, it's not realistic. But people are still expecting this. They're still expecting these things. I still expect treatment. I still expect treatment. And the reason why I still expect treatment is because the thought leaders have no thought. And they can't devise a plan of how to control the oxygen flow. So, treatment. I'll be subject to treatment. Let me ask you guys this. How has being subject to treatment treated you? You know what I'm saying? How? Let me know. Sponsored link removed. Whatever. Uninteresting. Thank you. It's not interesting. This thing that they have here on the side of the page, it's not interesting. We're gonna get it out of there. So now here it says, I'm relieved this situation was resolved, but DHS's actions first in attempting to enter the Oval Office without a warrant or consent, and then proceeding to handcuff and detain a terrified young congressional staffer without cause were the stuff of police in a banana republic or a gangster state, Roskin said in an email. How would he know? He's never been to one. This outrageous behavior reflects an alarming disregard for the law and a shocking disrespect for people's House and lawmaking branch of the government. Now, listen. Listen, I want you to hear how hypocritical this is. This guy is outraged. Pay attention to me. Stay with me. Are you guys with me? If you're with me, give me a thumbs up in the chat. This guy is upset that DHS agents, unauthorized and unannounced, entered his office while advocating for people to without authorization enter the United States. Do you see why he's a Democrat? anti-logic, anti-intelligent, pro-crime culture. And this is why anybody that associates with Democrats long-term makes absolutely no evolutionary progress. People need to stop asking themselves obvious questions. This dude is upset that these ICE agents went into his office unannounced while advocating for people to come to the United States unannounced. So somebody make it make sense. Somebody make it make sense. Look at this. I'm going to show you guys this. Let me ask you guys this question. How many of y'all want to continue talking about this stuff tomorrow? If you guys want another stream, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. Look at this. And again, it's the same stream all the time. MS-13 gang member arrested by ICE in Massachusetts. Who's surprised by this? If you're who's surprised by this? Do you think that this guy came to the United States legally? This MS-13 member? An MS-13 member from El Salvador was recently arrested by agents in Massachusetts, according to the feds. William Alberto Villalobos Melendez, who was 24, was arrested in Brockton last month following an operation by ICE enforcement and removal operations officer, along with agents from ICE Homeland Security Investigations New England and FBI Boston. Okay. William Alberto Villalobos Melendez has been illegally residing in the United States for almost 9 years. He stole 9 years of taxpayer money. He stole 9 years of taxpayer money. Anytime somebody stays in the United States for free, that's not a taxpayer, you're stealing taxpayer money. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. ICE ERO Boston acting field director Patricia Hyde said in a statement, he is a validated member of a violent transnational street gang and poses a threat to our Massachusetts residents. But you got Hakeem Jeffries. Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? Nah, he need to, you know what I'm saying? We got to fight the power of colonialism. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's talking all that nonsense. Nah, man. You know, we got to fight the power of colonialism. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, go, like, bro, you're corny. You're corny. You know what I'm saying? ICE Boston will not tolerate any threat that a member of a nefarious gang poses to our neighbors, Hyde added. We will continue to prioritize public safety by arresting criminal alien threats to our New England communities. U.S. Border Patrol arrested Villalobos in 2016 after he illegally entered the U.S. near Hidalgo, Texas. All right, so again, it's a common theme, right? We see this very often. A lot of these people, they've been arrested multiple times. They've been arrested and they re-enter. They've been arrested and they re-enter the United States multiple times. USBP determined that Villalobos had entered the United States without admission or inspection by an immigration official. USBP issued Villalobos a notice to appear before a Justice Department immigration judge. And you know what they've been doing? Go ahead and go to court. Psych, we finna arrest you. Psych. You know what I'm saying? So you thought you was going somewhere. Nope, you going back home. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you thought you was finna go to court? Nope. Duh, that's what you thought. Somebody lied. Somebody lied to you, bro. Yeah. Somebody lied to you, bro. So yeah, we're gonna talk about more of this, right? We're gonna talk about more of this tomorrow. All right. I'm gonna try to do it early in the morning because I got stuff to do later on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all being here. If y'all haven't hit that like button yet, do me a favor, hit that like button. Also, if you guys have not shared the stream to your social media, do me a favor, please share the stream to your social media. I want to shout out all of the stream sponsors. I appreciate you guys. All right. Shout out to Catsy. Make sure y'all show Catsy some love. Standing on business for 6 months. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to my man, Deacon Dave. I appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show Deacon Dave some love, joining the membership. Shout out to Miss Nisi, standing on business for 8 months. I definitely appreciate you, Miss Nisi. Make sure y'all show Miss Nisi some love. Shout out to my man, James Sumler, for joining the membership. I definitely appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show James Sumler some love. Shout out to Tedra. Sorry, Tedra, I forgot to play the drop for you. I got you, though. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man, AB Promotions. I definitely appreciate you, bro, standing on business for 6 months. Shout out to my man, DSB. Make sure y'all show my man, DSB, some love. Definitely appreciate it. Always supporting. Definitely appreciate DSB. Make sure y'all show DSB some love again. Again! And shout out to DSB again. Again! All right. If you're not subscribed, make sure that you subscribed. Make sure you subscribe on Rumble, Twitch, Kick, all that other good stuff. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,